Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dreamboat, and we are back for TF Live TV Australian Playoffs, KILLA BEEZ versus SWIFT AU. I am joined by an absolute legend, Yauch. How you doing, my man?
Gonna do my best to live up to that introduction, Dreamboat. Thank you very much. I'm not sure I can match your enthusiasm in voice, but this is going to be one hell of a game. We have got an extremely close sort of top four in Prem for ozfortress this season. These guys are the second and third seeds coming into finals, and we're going to have a cracking game, I reckon.
Well, and I think one thing that needs to be pointed out to some of our newer viewers brought by that big, fat, banny raid is they might see when Tab gets hit by Thermite, the TJ's sitting there on 112 ping. It's because he is a special gamer, Yauch. Do you want to explain that?
Special gamer. He is a special gamer from the special Asia Fortress. He has been a staple of the top of Asia Fortress for a very, very long time now. The top of the Div 1 teams is Scout, and he's been sort of in and around this Madmen Swift AU roster as well for quite some time now, playing at the top of the Australian scene. Very strong combo Scout, very heal-oriented, I think. Like, he makes Banny look like clockwork, for lack of a better term, honestly, with the amount of heals he receives, but he's definitely got the aim to match it, so that'll be an interesting one to see.
Yeah, and I mean, on a whole, this should be an incredibly interesting game. Both of these teams have a lot of talent up and down both lineups. They played very close throughout the season. Scrims, I mean, really, it could go either way. I don't think there's a clear favorite in this one. I think, if you had to say one, it might be the Bees. But, I mean, Swift, they dismantled Xenophobia on Granary and Viaduct for the previous playoff match. They're a very strong team across the board, especially now that they've shuffled their roster a little bit. They're looking even stronger. So they're definitely a team not to be scared of here.
Oh, absolutely. It'll be very close. Like you said, KILLA BEEZ probably coming in as the slight favorite, even though it's like probably, depending on the weather, it can go either way. It's interesting. KILLA BEEZ have definitely come in as the higher seed. They've had better results going through the season, and they have the head-to-head matchup. But interviewing Paulson at the end of the game last week, he said that the Paulson has had closer scrims against Swift AU. So it'll be interesting to see sort of what gets transferred here. As I think I'll run through the rosters relatively quickly, Dreamboat, as we do have 12 in the server right now. So on the side of KILLA BEEZ, we have got the scouts of Cookie, who is tagged up as Susurrus, who is the combo scout, and Varna on the flank scout. Riot is the roamer, and I would argue they're hard carry. His mechanics are probably second to none in on the roamer class in Australia at the moment. On the pocket for the KILLA BEEZ is the grandfather of Australian TF2 himself, Sol, the oldest existing ozfortress gamer. It's probably
you could
not
say
a flattering. Yeah.
You could say he's the heart and soul of Australian TF2.
Anyone who's ever been yelled at him in a pug would disagree with you, but no, he has been playing all the way since ozfortress Season 1. He won the first season of ozfortress many years ago. He is playing pockets tonight, and he is main calling, unsurprisingly. A lot of experience behind those calls. The demo man is Redcoat Zygote, who is tagged up as the Sting as his nickname. Up-and-coming demo man. He's risen through the ranks of ozfortress relatively quickly, and is actually a defending champion. Won ozfortress last season with Arnold on the medic, who's been a staple of ozfortress for a very long time now and has very, very sick crossbows. On the side of Swift, as we see one team ready up, I'm going to get a wriggle on. TJ, as we spoke on, is the combo scout for them, the Asia Fortress extraordinaire, with a name a lot of people will be familiar with on the flank scout. That is Madness, who was the flank scout for Jasmine T at both lands they attended, so Rewind 1 and I-58. Defending champion of the best Roma Prem is Pause on the Roma class. Yule is the pocket. I'll come back to him in a second. Deft is the demo man, and Locke is the medic. Yule was a relatively late inclusion to this roster. I don't know if you know, Dreamboat.
I do. They had Hertz earlier on, and I mean, team looked like it had some promise, but Hertz probably wasn't on the best option for him with that team we were kind of discussing earlier. I think, despite him being a very good player, they're going to actually be better off without him in this lineup. What do you think about that?
I wouldn't say that it's entirely on Hertz. I think Hertz is like, I think you can make a very strong argument that he's like one of the best all-round mechanical players in Australia across every class. He is ridiculously good, but he is a roamer main at heart, and he very much plays like a roamer. Yule has a lot more experience on the pocket, on playing pocket. He's able to sort of do those slight things, like the nuances of high-level pocket that Hertz might have been sort of struggling with, or struggling to suppress his roamering type stuff. Yule, with the very dominant main calls, able to lead pushes and able to get in deep and not die, which is a very, very important thing that a lot of pockets at the high level need to be able to do. So that is an interesting pickup. And then Pause and Deft are the other ones. Pause and Deft coming in off a combo of a team, for those of you who have been following OzFort for a little while, Nature Walk. Those two played together for quite some time. I think they got 5th in Prem both times. I'm going to stop waffling now, Dreamboat. Our first map is Granary, which was the KILLA BEEZ pick. A very, very strong map for them as we are going live. So take me to the first mid, Dreamboat.
Yeah, and it'll be really interesting to see how Swift come out swinging. They did barely beat Xenophobia on the back of Madness back cap in Golden Cap. So, I mean, it's a very close map for them, and this is going to have to be a huge mid. And early already, Redcoat has taken a bit of damage. Def getting there a bit faster. The Soldier's going to go straight up onto the catwalk, and as Riot getting absolutely annihilated. More pushing around coming forward, but so far the advantage is going the way of Swift as they are picking off kills left, right, and center. And everybody is dead, and only Ewell has died on the side of Swift, so a very clean mid.
Huge mid by Pause there. He was able to get all the way across the mid and pick up Arnold relatively uncontested. He also cleaned up a Scouter Varna, I believe that was. Riot's up on the engineer, but he's the only one. That Riot bomb that he did early on that mid was what gave Yugi Boys a very, very difficult time in their match up there, and they did well to shut it down, did the scouts of Swift. So if Riot's not able to get going, then it's probably going to be a tough series for KILLA BEEZ.
Yeah, and I mean, just because it is one mid doesn't mean the end of the game. We are very early here, but the Uber has been popped out of this shutter. TJ running straight forward with Deft, trying to find some kills. The sentry gun has been completely ignored, and this Uber really hasn't found anything. They're in a rough situation. Deft should go down. She will catch a nice arrow from Locke, but this push is just really going to be kind of stunted here as everybody is soaking up damage right now on Swift. Finally, they drop Pause, and I think they're going to have to back out here pretty quick.
That's an open level Uber there by Deft straight up, as the sentry's going to find one kill. Yule is going to get taken down, I believe. No, he's going to take someone down. I totally mispronounced it there. Deft's going to get chased down by Varna in that lunchbox area, and they're going to be able to start getting time on second now. The KILLA BEEZ. Really good last hold there. The sentry, like you said, totally ignored. No one... Like, honestly, there was just no pressure on any one of the KILLA BEEZ. Deft wasn't able to close the distance. He was just lobbing stickies and looking like a bit of a lemming. So, not great. Arnold up on the full Uber advantage here for the BEEZ. The BEEZ are going to be coming in through Garage, looking to take this relatively slowly, but they want to get a force off Will Swift. But Pause not really in a position to, as he's going to be jumping onto Cat now, but is going to miss Arnold, I think.
Yeah, it'd really sting if they can't get the force. They're selling out quite hard for it, but Arnold's doing a good job juking. Ewell has managed to find a kill. He actually finds a second one. So there is a bit of hemorrhaging of players right now for KILLA BEEZ. It is just their scouts trying to fight this out. The Ubers are going to be exchanged. This is really actually quite close in this fight, but I think because of it, KILLA BEEZ are going to have to back off.
Yeah, they are. That was an interesting one there. Even though they weren't able to get the force off, the sort of exchanging of players ended up working in favor of the Swift on mid, because Locke was actually able to get up on his Uber. As it said there in STV chat, they lost a 24-second Uber advantage. They were able to cap up on second. It'll be a pretty safe reset here, so while both teams are building up Uber. But yeah, a little bit sort of Arnold getting too focused on not wanting to pop his Uber there to keep track of the Uber advantage situation. So that's well played there by Swift, who were able to posture defensively on mid. We're just going to be seeing the classic Granary stalemate, I think, now, Dreamboat.
Yeah, I mean, we are in for the El Clasico, Granary second stalemate. How many of these have we watched? How many years has this happened? It feels every time you get at least one of them in a Granary cast. And there's going to be throwing the Soldier in. That's Pause. He's getting mulched by these guys. Actually hits a nice rocket onto Vanna. Of course, he's not able to finish that one off. And we're just sitting back, gonna see where the counter set comes in.
Yeah, Cookie's having a little bit of a peek around the choke area at the moment. Cookie, of course, tagged up as Sussurus. I'm going to call him Cookie, guys, so you're just going to have to deal with that in chat. They weren't really able to find anything to go with, but yeah, interesting there from the side of KILLA BEEZ, looking to get us. This is exciting for us as casters, Dreamboat, because it looks like they're going to play the patient game and not send any counter sacks. Which is okay. It's a finals match. They've got a lot on the line here. But yeah, probably want to see them take a little bit more initiative next time Pause goes for a sack, or if they try and bust yard or something.
Yeah, and I mean, we can't stress that enough. This is playoffs. Loser of this game is gone. Oh, but the force coming in from yauch as I take the time to point out the gravity of the situation. That's not what you want to see. Arnold getting forced there. And they're not going to be able to do anything with that. The Ever's coming straight back forward in here, running straight through Garage. I don't think they're actually going to be able to find anything with this, so we might actually stalemate back off of that, despite the beautiful force.
Yep, Riot goes down behind line. Sorry to cut you off there, but he did such a good job of actually managing to get all the way, force the Uber off through his own garage and get all the way into sort of, while getting stared at by Madness, into the enemy garage to just take scouts out of that Uber and mean that they weren't able to get in and do a lot of damage. As it looks like SVIFT are going to be breaking through this right yard area here from the defender's perspective. It's going to cue the backup here from the Bees. As they haven't committed all the way in through Lunchbox just yet. It looks like yauch wants to take it though and commit it through Garage. He's been met by Soul, so Pocket Soldier's getting a lot of spam out. yauch definitely getting the better of that exchange, so they're going to need to be careful here of not getting dropped on the side of the Bees. As it looks like they're just going to back out.
Yeah, a lot of pressure coming in from the two scouts there. They know that Arnold is getting close to that Uber. He gets it up. Now we're back into the even Ubers, but at least they have a bit of yard control. There's a player drop right now. Pause is actually going to expect that, and it will easily find Riot. Read like a book, Riot. Rough spot to be in.
Yeah, absolutely right. And they're going to be stacking all 5 players. Deft holding the shutter by himself as the entirety of SVIFT are going to jam in through Lunchbox at the moment. yauch gets forced off and bounced off the catwalk at the exact same time. That's disastrous. That's not where he wanted to be at all. Counter Uber's going to come in from Arnold, and he's going to be soloing it onto Redcoat. Redcoat's going to be trying to put some damage here onto the point, but the Ninja Banish has come out of SVIFT, and they've done a relatively good job of it. The Collapse is going to come in now with Deft walking forward buffed, and they're just going to crunch the Bees there in that shutter door area. Cap up on second, and that is surely going to be around now as Arnold's the only one left alive. He does preserve his KD though, Dreamboat.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the problems there was the fact that straight up Cookie just ate so much damage on that second point, had to fall back, and then that allowed so much space to be grabbed by SVIFT. They just absolutely annihilate them, mulching straight through the team and taking their first round.
Yeah, and sort of, we're going to be on to mid number 2 here. Redcoat's going to get the early sticky onto Deft this time, so a bit of a, the opposite of what happened last time. Deft's going to be able to take the garage, but Riot is straight onto him, and it's a really nice direct there to take down Deft. Demo down very early. Soul's going to be getting aggressive to follow up. They've all been sort of jammed through that left lane, have SVIFT AU, but they're actually managing to find a few frags, including the frag of Arnold. Lock has stayed alive extremely importantly, and the cleanup crew of those two scouts, the experience between TJ and Madness just coming in there and cleaning up everyone on the side of Bees. Riot's massive play wasn't enough.
Yeah, and I mean, this is what you need to see if you are a SVIFT fan. You need to see TJ and Madness starting to get off on the right foot, starting to put the pressure in straight through, because they do so much work when they are both on. They're going to be pushing into second right now, just trying to get a little bit of time on the point. It's passive spam right now. They should get second nice and easy.
Yeah, they should, and honestly, I'm going to say it, Bees should know better than that. They know that Madness has sort of like a pocket scout disposition. He mains pocket scout, but he is on the flank scout, and TJ going to be playing on the heels as that is his main. They need to not feed those scouts. That's what their game plan should be going into this, and that's what they should do if they want to win. Soul's going to get taken down, looking to get a bit cheeky in that top area there, and that's not going to be good as Arnold's nowhere near his Uber. They've got gun up and they've got heavy up, and let's see if they're able to get a slightly better last push than last time. Lock's going to get into fairway without using. Gun is not going to get taken down. It's going to get taken down finally. Deft splitting his attention there. Importantly, Soul will be able to spawn back up. yauch's going to trade for Riot, but there are a lot of frags going down on the side of the SVIFT team, and again, they just cannot crack this last at the moment, Dreamboat. For a last push to work, they seem to need to win it on second.
Lock has, for now, managed to escape. Oh, he's dead. Or is he? TJ's going to meet up with him. This could be so crucial if Ciceris can get the kill that is Cookie, and he's actually just going to feed his life away there. TJ doing a good job protecting his medic.
Yep, Arnold up on the Uber though, as he did not get taken down in that last push. Let's see if this is looking very familiar, Dreamboat. Much like the earlier round, Madness is going to get taken down, but they're putting a lot of pressure onto this yard, the Swift side, and they're going to get the force out of the bees. TJ and Madness trading their life for it, but that's 2 scouts down, Dreamboat. I see that, and I want to go forward with Paws going down to the back lines as well. It was getting a little bit flirty with that back cap, but it looks like they're going to be happy to opt to stack mid. They might be able to deny TJ here. It's going to be very close. They do manage it, and they should be looking to get a force onto lock while there are 2 players out of the fight for Swift.
Yeah, I mean, they could overstay their welcome here if they're not too careful. Lock actually eating a bit of spam there. It's not what you want to see as a medic, just seeing him drop down below 100 HP. We'll be able to juke and jive and should be able to regen quite a bit here, but that was not a good start before the bomb even came in.
No, that's it, and it looks like they're going to be taking the Uber through Garage here. The side of Swift, but Riot is going to go absolutely huge. He's going to take down yauch. He's going to be so unlucky not to get that force out of lock. Really nice milking there. But I thought he had that for certain. He was able to just explode yauch. Varna's going to go down. Soul's going to try and commit as well, but that's 3 down and no force coming out for the KILLA BEEZ again. Swift's looking to cap up on this mid. They're going to miss 2 forwards here, our KILLA BEEZ. Lock is still up on that Uber. Arnold's going to get his now, but Riot has spawned on Spy out of the forward spawn, Dreamboat.
And he has infiltrated the back lines. They are walking right by him right now. Whether or not Lock expects this is going to be so key. If Riot can get the med pick, this could turn the entire round on its head.
That's exactly it. He's sort of just scoping it out, having a look at what's going on at the moment. They're going to be rotating their heels over the big lunchbox side, Swift. So he's going to have an opportunity, but he does get spotted out by TJ. That's unlucky. It was a good play. He waited for the long con, but maybe in the end he waited a little bit too long, as they're going to be trying to jam it in through this lunchbox again, or maybe even through Z, Swift. It worked very well for them last time they tried this Dreamboat, so let's see what they can get done.
Yeah, they are going for their second round early here on the Granary, and they're going to find Vanna immediately. That is, again, not what you want to see if you're a KILLA BEEZ fan. You just start finding some of these kills. But yauch, he's going to go down there trying to jump through the stickies, but it has bought the space to get the second cap coming in. Uvers are even. Neither team have forced, so we're going to see a bit of a stalemate for last.
Yep, yauch did go down there, and they're having a little bit of a peek on this second here, actually, the other Bees. This is really nice. I like this off the pocket pick. Soldiers being so important on Granary. Def postured up on those crates. He wants to defend here, but he's going to get forced in a very awkward position. He's going to finally get the force out onto Arnold. Yul's going to find Riot, and Soul's going to find yauch, but Soul's going to get taken down as well. So despite having the better Uber again, the frags are going in favor of Swift here, even though the Bees have the better Uber, and the collapse, again, just from these scouts is coming in on second, and this is an exact mirror image of the last round Dreamboat. They need to get their second pushes sorted to the KILLA BEEZ, otherwise they're just going to keep hemorrhaging rounds.
Yeah, these post Ubers from Swift on second are absolutely flawless. I mean, they're straight up textbook. They're everything that you want to happen when you have a post Uber fight in that area. They're winning it so easily, and if they really can't clean it up, KILLA BEEZ don't have much of a chance in this entire map.
You're exactly right. 2-0 now with 18 minutes left to go. Redcoat's going to be quite slow. I'm not even sure where he ended up on that mid. He's just coming in now. Def's going to get some early stickies off as a result of that. Pause is going to initiate aggressively with yauch coming into the follow-up bomb, and they're all just crunched around their death corner. There are Swift. They stood absolutely no chance. They're all just sort of stood on top of each other, and Swift's double soldier aggression was able to clean up so many kills. It's just Soul left on mid now, and he's just staring, inviting death, saying, please take me, Swift, as that's going to be a third mid, I think, to Swift, and it looks like it's going to be a third round as well, as Lock did not get taken down on the mid.
I mean, there is always the miracle. Riot's up on Sniper, which is a bit of a surprise. Cookie, once upon a time known for his sniper prowess. He's on the Engineer, man.
I'd been playing Bunny Co all day. He is able to click on heads. He's been playing Pub High Tower for a long time now today, so he'll be able to do it.
Well, we shall see. Will he hit the hero shot, or will this work out okay? They're actually going to pop in quite early right into Soul and the Heavy. These Ubers, again, from Swift are looking quite weak on this lap, but Deft will find the sentry, and he'll get a lot of time on point. Now the kills are starting to come in, and it looks like Swift are finding a few of them. They need to find some more here, though, or they're going to risk losing another one. Finally, Deft comes in, gets a couple kills. yauch trying to spam down the point. Pause and yauch trying to win this out. It's just Cookie and Redcoat.
Pause was just sort of, you saw where he was, stood around hidden behind that tire on the left spawn there, and was absolutely no health. Cookie should have just been able to clean up all three of those weak players, but he manages to hit it direct onto Arnold at the very end of that fight, and that's going to give Locke a 30% Uber advantage. That's absolutely clutch there by Pause. So really sort of nice salvage. They're improving their last pushes, Dreamboat. This is a better result than last time, but Redcoat's going to get the trap kill onto Madness, I believe that was. And let's see if KILLA BEEZ are able to sort of improve their pushes out onto second.
Well, so far is looking a little bit better. They haven't, or at least they've got the cap on second, so that's way better than before. Now because of that, they're just going to be sitting in yard right now. Swift are... But, you know, there's about 16 minutes left here. Plenty of time. But any time they can kind of churn down is good. And like what Soul's done, he's got the sentry gun sitting on last in case they do beat these second holds.
Yeah, that's sort of a bit like the pub engineer tactic of, I've just spent so much time building this gun, I'm not going to abandon it just to push out. Wright's going to go in for a sack on the lock, but he's not going to be able to find it. Varner's going to be able to kill TJ though. Gun's going to get spammed down by Madness of all people, so it looks like Swift are going to be getting into last here through the right-hand side from the defender's perspective. Both Ubers are up and it's one player apiece. Redcoat gets taken down very low, but earlier pop coming out of lock, and they're going to be able to chase a very low health depth here. He's probably going to get caught in at the end of this Uber, and indeed he is. Soul is watching top, and it looks like KILLA BEEZ want to get off this last, and indeed they should with the demo pick, because it was Def that's been doing so much to punish them on these pushes out of last. Pause and Yule are both in lunchbox though, and Wright's going to get caught out by Pause, and Pause is going last. They need to turn around and deal with it, Dreamboat.
Yeah, he is over around the point. Took a little bit of time getting onto it, and he's going to be absolutely mulched. Van is still trying to fight out on two here. He actually manages to get a couple kills, but eventually will go down. Because Cookie's still alive, though, this should be a one fight on two. It's actually going to do just enough to scare them back. Deft and TJ still trying to fight this with Locke. Done a good job getting a lot of ground here for their team, trying to stay in this fight. It looks like they will find second.
Yep, and they're just sort of not able to get a solid foothold on these second push-outs here. The KILLA BEEZ, they're still flirting with it. They still want to have a little bit of control here. Redcoat's still spamming it relatively aggressively, but the cap's going to go down for Swift, and then they're just going to rotate their players out of harm's way. Sort of still spamming here. I don't know, this is interesting. It looks like Swift are almost inviting them out to push to try and crunch them. Ubers are even, and again, TJ's going to take an exchange in. Better Uber again from Arnold, but we need to see how these post-Ubers pan out, because that's really what's been the difference maker here. Yule's going to get caught out up top though. He's going to get bounced around and hit by a load of directs there, finally taken down by Riot. But again, the scouts in the demo have just been invited in to walk in across point. Redcoat needs to be able to lock out those scouts in the demo there, because this just keeps happening, Dreamboat.
I love how confident they are. They're just like, yeah, we'll just bait them in and do the same post-Uber fight that we've been doing every time. And it is working. They've got a few kills so far here, but the health is so poor right now. Really could go either way, but it looks like Swift are going to take this round. There's some nice kills coming in there from Madness.
Yep, nice crossbows as well there by Locke to keep his team alive, and that is 3-0 to the side of Swift. This is not what you want if you were KILLA BEEZ. This is your map pick, and this is the map that you took all the way down to the last 10 seconds against Yugi Boys. So this can't be doing good things for their confidence. They really need to change things up around that mid-second area. Deft is going to be beating Redcoat to mid now, and Redcoat's actually going to get taken, miss the pack entirely, which is going to be disastrous. Both soldiers are going to take take height relatively early for the Bees, but Pause is straight in onto Arnold. He's going to get taken down, but Yule with the follow-up is going to find that med frag. Health isn't great for either team right now. Player advantage is in favor of the KILLA BEEZ, as Redcoat's going to jump in and find a pipe onto Deft. Very ambitious play there, but Locke has left with TJ, and I think that's the first mid that we're going to see in favor of KILLA BEEZ, and they need to start getting themselves back into this match quick, smart, Dreamboat.
That is, in fact, the first mid, and they did it almost beautifully. Locke took a lot of damage. He does manage to live, though, and with Arnold going down, it's going to be full Uber for the defenders, so they should have a good fight here on second, and this could be a little bit more difficult for KILLA BEEZ to try and convert their first round on.
Yeah, it will be, but this is also a very difficult push to make the mid to second one. We saw them, KILLA BEEZ attempt it a few times with like varying degrees of success. Both times I think ended up resulting in a reset on second though with their Uber advantage pushes. It looks like they're going to be sort of taking it through garage here. Yule's going to be looking to take some space here. They're taking it very, very sensitively as Arnold's already up on 70% Uber. Riot's jumped behind actually, and he's going to find a Madness and a Pause waiting for him. Varner's going to commit as well, but that's both players committing for a flank rather rather than a force, which is an interesting decision. And they're both going to get taken down in that small choke area. Arnold is not up on his Uber just yet. He will be soon. They're stacking the forward spawns are Swift, but they've got 2 picks, even though the Ubers have evened out, excuse me. So let's see what they opt to do with this.
And yauch, do you like stupid statistics showing how well a player is doing? Locke has not died yet this map.
On Granary,
so he
is
is
just
doing
revolting.
a brilliant job on Medic right now. And that's setting them up for a beautiful push here in the second. They're all around that kind of garage area. They may well be able to take this, but in fact, they're just going to sit back and wait it out.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I think that's the safer play there, because you're up 3 rounds here, Dreamboat, with 11 minutes left to play. You're not in a hurry to be doing anything right now if you are the side of Swift, as it looks like they're probably just going to be poking around this lunchbox area and seeing if they can find any isolated players. It's sort of a stare-off between the combo of Swift at the moment and the flank of the Bees. So, yeah, sort of, this will be a test of our casting skills. I'd be interested to see if yauch wants to try some of his Tempest jumps and get up, drop down or something. That'd be totally pointless, but it'd be cool to see, as they're going to actually try and commit in through lunchbox here, but the trap is going to find pause, so that'll probably be the sack play as the trade's coming out, Dreamboat, and Soul gets dropped.
Yeah, he went a little bit too aggressive there trying to get in on Locke, and because of that, the force came out. Now they found Arnold. They've got a couple kills. There's a soldier up in lunchbox trying to cause some damage. You will find TJ. Trap finds one as well, but this is a very big ask for Redcoat. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Second should fall, and Van is in a lot of trouble alone on last right now. Swift looking very good.
Yeah, they do need to cap up, which is going to be a saving grace for the KILLA BEEZ. They're going to be able to get a few of their spawners up in time to defend last, but geez, if I'm a B, I'm having PTSD about this Granary second at the moment, Dreamboat. They just cannot work it out, and the positioning and the sort of post-Uber play from Swift has just been absolutely immaculate, as you touched on, sort of able to recollapse and just sort of, I don't know, not really getting pressured in the post-Ubers as much as you'd think they should be, but they're going to be setting up for a last hold here. Other Bees, full Uber advantage on Locke, and it looks like they're going to be taking a top this time, which is a bit of a change. Their right side pushes haven't been ideal, so they're going to be using early through onto TJ, bringing Deft in as well. The sentry's just going to blast TJ out of the Uber. Deft is going to be able to take it down finally, and Seal's going to find a kill on the right. The point's just going to be played. They gave up all of the point pressure to try and kite the Uber there, did the Bees, and that's going to be 4-0 to Swift on the Bees map pick.
Yeah, something is not quite right with the KILLA BEEZ. They're looking more like mosquitoes, a bit of a nuisance rather than an actual threat. They really need to step it up here late. There is still 10 minutes. That is enough time to grab 4 rounds. But they need to start back on this mid, and Redcoat is being pressured so hard by Def once again. Bomb's coming right forward. Def will go down right with a big pick to open things up. TJ will finally clean him up, but that's about all he'll get. Now, Van has found another kill, too, so a couple kills so far for KILLA BEEZ. Put a lot of pressure and a lot of damage as well, and Swift, they're in a little bit of trouble right now, especially with Madness going down.
Madness was able to take 2 in him, though, as it's Soul caught behind there. There was one thing I wanted to touch on. Sorry to cut you off there, Dreamboat. As we do see mid going for Swift and both mids surviving, was how much work yauch was able to do on that mid. He was taken down to about 90 HP very, very early on in that mid, and he was able to use jumps to avoid damage while still being a distraction and still putting like the occasional 40, 50 damage rockets into people, and that was really, really well played. Really smart rocket play there. Pocket players. He's just going to get absolutely minced in yard as I say that.
That was a nice rocket from Riot to get the little midi there. Now the exchange is coming through. No one has quite died yet. Pause finally going down, as will Locke. So this is working out well for KILLA BEEZ. It is just Deft alive. He's going to try and jump out. He should escape. Although Cookie is hot on his trails. He might find this kill. He's looking for it. He believes, but he's going to fall off. Deft will live another day.
Oh, Deft and yauch actually as well, copping a crossbow from Arnold, getting taken down very low, but they've actually let all of Swift come out of the forward spawn as a result. Madness and Varna are going to end up trading, and this is very awkward, but it's ended up working in favour of the KILLA BEEZ, as Redcoat is just able to mince absolutely everyone. Locke has died twice in a row now. That's going to sort of put a bit of a dent on his otherwise immaculate looking stats, but Cookie's going to get taken down by a Deft trap above the second point here. KILLA BEEZ are not giving up this second fight though, having dropped that player, and rightfully so. They need to get back into this game. Spawners are up for Swift, but Arnold's got full Uber advantage, and they cannot wait for Cookie here. They just need to go and start winning rounds quickly.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes it's never a bad idea to push a little bit earlier, see if you can get that scout coming in late in the fight, fully health. sometimes that can be an impact play, and they're going to pop straight through on Vanna. He's done a great job mulching pause so far here. Bombs coming from you as well, but they need to start dealing with this heavy. TJ is juking around, surviving. Actually, it's going to be Arnold getting the kill on Deft with the crossbow. What a player. Arnold is an absolute legend. He's got the crossbow. I'm still looking for some more. They have found Madness. Now that Heavy's going to go down, they should be able to convert this round. And in fact, they will as they wipe Swift. First round on the board for KILLA BEEZ. There's still time. There's still a chance, but they need to go fast.
I know you and I have both seen them, Dreamboat, but we know how quickly rounds can fall on this map and how quickly hearts can be broken, especially when it comes to Australians playing this map. We need to see some rounds coming out quickly from KILLA BEEZ. They are down. They're at a 3-round deficit with 6.5 minutes left to play now. Deft again getting the early advantage on mid over Redcoat, which has really been sort of causing them some dramas, but Riot's going to be getting in early on Deft, but Deft's able to fall to the pack, and Arnold's going to get taken down by yauch, and Paws are just collapsing on the side of the Bees, and that is not the mid that you want if you're a Bee fan, Dreamboat.
Yeah, the full wipe, not killing a singular thing, that's not the way it should go. They're going to be able to roll straight through into second. They're going to have full Uber for last. This is a dire situation for KILLA BEEZ. They could hold it. They absolutely can. And remember, it is win difference for the NA folk watching, so 5 is not the end, but it does make it that much harder.
Yep, we play the vastly superior rule set here. For any Americans who were wondering, we play the win difference 5 as opposed to first to 5. They're going to be poking in this area, top lobby area, and they're actually going to force lock relatively cheaply the KILLA BEEZ. Riot's going to get taken down either direct from yauch. Pause is going to get taken down by Sol, but there's a lot of frags going in for the side of the KILLA BEEZ. It's Redcoat and Arnold versus the world, just the way Redcoat and Arnold like it, but I don't think they're going to be able to do it as TJ's going to play the cap, and I think this match is probably beyond the KILLA BEEZ reach now as Swift take a 5-1 advantage, Dreamboat.
4 rounds of 5 minutes is technically doable, so there is a chance. Never say never, but it needs to be this mid. If something magical is going to happen, it starts right now, right here. Redcoat, a little bit slower than Deft, misses the first sticky and eats the early damage once again. Deft has done so much more work on these mids than Redcoat, and it's really just been noticeable in the way that they have ended up going. Sol is getting completely denied. Riot will find Deft, finally be taken out. Cookie's found another one too, but yauch's got 2 quick kills right in response. Madness now walking forward. He's finding kills. 3v3, TJ, yauch, and Locke versus Cookie, Redcoat, and Arnold. Next kill was going to pretty much win this. They're actually finding the cap very far on this mid. They're going to win mid off of that alone, but Locke will escape.
He sure will. Locke has got an extremely good knack of surviving these sorts of situations, of surviving all sorts of situations. He's an amazing man. As we're going to see an aggressive trade come out of KILLA BEEZ on second here. Both teams have flashed a fair few players, but Redcoat's going to get sort of isolated from Arnold and taken down and trying to retreat through garage. yauch's going to take down Cookie as well. So the second fight has been very convincingly won here by Swift as we have about 3.5 minutes left to play Dreamboat. They're going to be trying to get some rounds and trying to get some momentum in their favor going into the next map, which will be Snakewater, will the Bees, but this has been a really, really dominant showing from the side of Swift, especially when it comes to their combo play Dreamboat. I think that has definitely been the difference, just the organization in the combo of Swift.
Yeah, I mean, with the way that yauch is playing right now, it feels like every single push he has impact. He may not be topping on his team, but he's doing a lot of work. Like that mid fight there, he had like 3 kills. He's doing so much work consistently, getting so much space with pause. He's doing so much that these scouts just get to clean up on super lit players and look very good because of it.
That's exactly it, and I think you sort of touched on what the major difference there has been, which is space created. I'm going to sort of stop casting this, I think, because it's turning into a bit of a DM server. But what it is, yeah, yauch has been able to create space. He's been able to have those collapse impact frags. He's been able to have better Ubers alongside Deft, and there's just really been like sort of no denial coming out of the combo of KILLA BEEZ in anywhere near the same way. Deft has just been able to get so much space along with his buff scouts to walk through. Redcoat seems powerless to deny those sorts of pushes through from the combo and from the heal beam of Swift. And yeah, like Varna and Riot have been reasonably impressive. I don't think they've been outplayed at all, but I think Redcoat and Sol really, really need to lift their game and sort of lift their coordination and lock down the space that the scouts are getting for Swift, because that is what it'll come down to at the end of the day. They want to have those 2 scouts sitting on beam, the TJ and Madness scouts, and just walk across point is just that's what they want,
Hold
and that's
on.
how they will win. Yeah.
I thought for a second that with the health being so poor that Yule was just gonna try and take a 1v3 with his medic, and actually managed to cap that out. I thought they were gonna go to the win difference, not the time limit, I believed.
Yeah. No, sorry, I'm just waffling a little bit, Dreamboat, if you wanted to close this one out. But I think going into Snakewater, which is the next map, that's what they need to do for the KILLA BEEZ. They need to sort of not let the scouts have that much space walking in, as we're going to see an uber push coming out of SVIFT here into last to try and take it all the way to the win difference with 1.5 minutes left to go, and they're just going to play the point and do it. That is 6-1. In favour of SVIFT AU for the first map of this best-of-3 semi-final, Dreamboat. Very dominant display.
Absolutely. And I mean, one of the things that you have to look at on the key difference is the fact that Arnold, yeah, he died a respectable 11 times, you know, like that was solid. What can you do? Like 11 deaths as a medic, you can't really complain too much about that. Except for when Locke dies 3 times in the map. That is just so unbelievably impressive. He was doing so much work for his team, keeping them healed, not dying at all. No matter how hard they tried, it seemed like he was not going to die. And if they don't get to do a better job of getting to Locke, getting these kills on him, there's going to be perpetually at even Ubers or disadvantage, and you're not going to win maps like that.
Yeah, I'm just having a look here. We touched on him as the impact player as well. Yule top damage in the server, Deft next top. The combo just doing so much work for the Bees. Sorry, for SVIFT, I should say. Soul and Redcoat being next, the Pocket and demos for both teams up the top of the damage board, but it's just sort of... It's the amount of space they're being taken and the amount of, like, I don't know, Soul only doing what is that, like 1,000 less damage than Yule, which is a considerable amount, but when you consider Yule has gone 27 for 18 and Soul has gone 13 for 24, that is a massive difference.
Yeah, no kidding. And I mean, one of the other things that, like, I'm kind of sad that Logs doesn't show you is, sure, Def's only doing 15 more DPM than Redcoat, right? Like, that's not a particularly huge number. They've died about the same amount of times. But really what you're missing on that is the number of mids that Def walked in, hit the first sticky, hit the second sticky, and just completely denied a Redcoat. There was no rhythm being gotten into at all for KILLA BEEZ because their demo couldn't even find space in mid. He was getting pressured so early and hard by Deft that by the time the soldiers came in, he all had no impact, and and everyone else on the team was living so much longer because Redcoat really couldn't get anything done.
No, you're exactly right. And yeah, I don't know, Redcoat able to sort of, not able to get work done in situations where Deft could, where he's just able to walk forward with heals. And yeah, honestly, they just look disorganized on the side of KILLA BEEZ, especially compared to this SVIFT lineup. They really, really need to just sort of sit down and work out how you play together as a combo and how you are going to be able to blob effectively and blob your damage so that the scout sort of chariot of SVIFT isn't going to totally decimate you like it did for all of Granary.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we do need to also shout out the winner of 2 important categories. Riot winning the airshot competition, getting 3 of them in that map. That's it's respectable on Granary. Granary's not the most airshot centric map. And then of course Pause with that 66 health packs taken. What a legend.
Oh, Pause playing Roma's Roma. What a legend. What a nice guy. Everyone loves Pause. Yep, Riot. I was impressed by Riot. I think he played very, very well on that map, and it's a very soldier-centric map. This is a, I don't know, you ask a different Roma on a different day, and they'll say a different thing about Snakewater. It's a challenging map for Snakewater, for Roma, I believe. So the Pause v Riot matchup will be an interesting one. It is a very good map for Pocket, and it is a very good map for Demo Man, so this will be interesting to see. Again, it's really going to come down to whether Soul and Redcoat are able to match Yule and Deft, so this will be an interesting matchup. This is SVIFT's pick as well, so SVIFT, who won the first map, who didn't pick it, so match point, I suppose, for KILLA BEEZ. This is a must-win if they want to go through to the grand final to play against Yugi Boys next week, and yeah, as the top seed, you think they're going to have to, as we're going to need to pre-game a little bit more, as we've had a couple of players leave the server.
Yeah, and I mean, if you are a KILLA BEEZ fan, they're not out of it yet. Snakewater is, of course, the map that we are seeing here. If they win that, they'll go to Process. Both maps are strong for KILLA BEEZ. They definitely have a chance in them, but they need to tighten up some of the mistakes they were making on Granary. I mean, if they... Completely different seconds, keep in mind, but if their second transitions were as bad or are as bad on Snakewater as they were on Granary, there's not a hope in hell that they win this map, because that was so incredibly sloppy, some of those transitions out of them, that they were hemorrhaging players and hemorrhaging rounds that they probably shouldn't have lost. So they really need to tighten that up if they want to have a chance here.
Yeah, and again, that was just off the back of some very heads-up play from Swift. Their Ninja Vanish was just absolutely impeccable in those post-Uber situations, and it just felt like the remaining Ubered players on the side of KILLA BEEZ were just sort of flailing around looking for things to shoot while they were invincible, and then they found nothing, but the moment the Uber came off, they just found themselves staring down the barrel of a 6-man just swamping from Swift. So, yeah, it's interesting. I'm going to see if I can bring up some of the previous head-to-heads for these teams, Dreamboat, if you want to talk about something for a little bit, see what this map has to do with anything.
Sure, I will talk about plenty of things, and one of the things I will point out is just if you're wondering why we are stalling for so long, is there are 11 players on the server. Madness, not sure where he's gone. Might have gone for a little breath of fresh air, seeing, you know, if that's going to help him come back, calm down. He did cap 19 times, so that's the Legends play right there. Gotta love the man that caps. That was my role, mainly because I only had 100 DPM per game. But that's, you know,
That's
neither here
because you
nor
were captain,
there.
of course.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got you.
You know, even Giggly carried YZ52 or Landwin, so cappers can be the stuff of Legends. He is connecting, though, so we should be getting in there soon. And yauch, are you ready with those fat head-to-heads?
Yeah, they don't tell us anything. They played on Sunshine products during the regular season, so that was anticlimactic. I have nothing to add to that. I'm very sorry. As we're going to see the bees ready up on the blue team. 12 players left in the server as we're going live for map number 2 of this ozfortress Prem Season 21 semi-final. KILLA BEEZ versus Swift Australian Edition. Dreamboat, take me to mid.
Winner of this match set themselves up with a hot date with Yugi Boys, aka X Jasmine T. We are into this mid deft way faster than Redcoat. Not going to land the first sticky this time, though, so there's a refreshing change if you're a KILLA BEEZ fan, as they are just sitting back so far at the start. yauch bombing straight forward, right on top of Arnold. He should get taken out. In fact, he will. First kill going that way. Right, trying to come in behind. Not going to get that as well. Pause will find 1-2. Swift doing a great job finding these kills. They do have the man advantage, but the mulching is coming in. It's just TJ and Luck. TJ trying to fight. We'll find the first kill on the Vanna. Now Cookie's trying to stay alive, trying to find this. Cookie, can you do it? He's done so much damage. We'll find TJ. Luck trying to escape, but this is going to be his first death, assuming Cookie doesn't beef. Finally, his first death very early into the map. So a very different change of pace from that Granary game.
Yeah, and that's the start you want if you're a bee, guys. Get your bee emotes into chat if you're a bees fan, or get your Year of the Doges going if you're a Swift AU fan. But that is a strong mid-win there, coming out off the back of the very strong cleanup from Cookie. Mandus is up on the sniper in top lobby, so he's going to be looking to take that Uber away from Arnold, but he has been spotted out. Deft is watching a trap. Pause was flirting with Cheese a little bit. Mandus is going to dome Soul. Nice shot up onto the hut, actually, and they need to start getting some position or need to get some pressure going onto this Swift lineup. Riot's going to be jumping in very deep, and Varna's in behind, going to take down the sniper, so this is the collapse coming out of the bees that they need to get, and they need to get going forward with this Uber advantage, as it is going to be ever dwindling. They're going to be capping up on the second now, and it looks like they're electing to take this Uber through under with Redcoat, and it looks like they're going to be, under or shutter, under.
Under, they bring in Cookie to bring in Redcoat. They get straight forward on the Uber. They haven't managed to find much now, but they get Lock with a beautiful play. Vanna takes out Pause as well. The mulching is coming through. KILLA BEEZ have awoken. Starting to find the rest of these kills. It's just Madness, and that will be the first round for KILLA BEEZ. They get their first lead of the series. Mulching Swift AU.
I realize I put my chat poll as being a little bit biased because people only want to spam one thing. So just to let you know, we are running a raffle for absolutely nothing at all if you do spam Year of the Doge into chat, as we are on to mid number 2. Redcoat and Deft not really going to be finding each other much on this mid. Deft's going to be sort of peeking up that left lane from his perspective. Soul's going to actually cop a really nice direct, but it's Pause that's going to be taken down early. Initiation onto the demo there from Riot. He's going to jump in and then jump out, and the follow-up from Soul is going to be able to find that demo pick. yauch's going to find 2 before he gets taken down with some really nice rockets, but the scout chariot of the bees this time is what does all the damage, as they are going to be able to walk across point and close out a second mid. Lock did live this time though, Dreamboat.
Could we see? Is this just going to be the complete opposite of a map, and we're going to go to the complete unknown on process? Because KILLA BEEZ looked like they flicked the switch in that little break that we took there, that little swap between. Because, man, oh man, those are some very quick, very good mids from them. It is going to be even Uber, so I'm assuming they're probably going to sack someone in, have them come up sniper, see if they can kill the med. Madness will be on sniper himself, see if he can get that shot. Just does a little bit of damage, causes a bit of a nuisance, just as he usually does.
Yep, Riot's going to get taken down relatively low up in that top lobby area. I do imagine we'll be seeing at least Riot sacking. I like to see a two-man sack here onto this last point. Locke is sort of postured up on that little roofy mabob as we're going to be going into the first pause of this best-of-3 Dreamboat, so that's not too bad considering it's TF2 and what a day and what a few months, honestly, we've had in TF2, so one pause isn't too bad.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess we technically have two pauses because one's the player and one's the actual server mechanic, but I mean, I don't see any evident reason why they're pausing, just not that we can go off of much, just going off of ping. There's nothing that's like, makes it scream that there's a pause. TJ, of course, is ridiculously high, but I mean, you know, you can only do so much when you're playing from Asia.
Yeah. And what a lot of players opt to do is hold W. I'm going to see if I can suss out what is going on in the Serveruni Dreamboat, if you want to...
Well, good luck thesaurusing that one out. I'm sorry. I do what I can. You know what? I'm just going to let myself out. I think Xander's out there in chat. Let's just get him to replace me. Too many bad puns. But, you know, I mean, nothing really kind of stands out with the way that these players are all positioned right now. Sometimes you notice something kind of ridiculous. Madness, he's just forward. He's got Yule supporting him, just as you'd expect. Sentry gun's going up for TJ right now. It's only a level 1, but, you know, it's still a gun nonetheless. Pause has actually come out. That was a very quick pause. Actually, it's a full level 3 that he was just moving, so pausing was baiting me with that one. But yeah, we just got the good old-fashioned wait, see if Madness can connect one of those shots, see if maybe there's a sack coming in from KILLA BEEZ, but no one's really positioned to even do that.
Yep, I've just retried the server Dreamboat if you want to do the same to get your HUD up and working again, as it looks like Riot's going to be jumping through Pogoing in onto the sniper, of Madness. Both soldiers are going to be jumping in, doing their best Tempest gamer. Riot taken down very slowly there. That was interesting considering how deep he got in. He got no damage really to sort of write home about. Cookie went down in the same exchange. So that's the two-man stack coming out. Madness is going to start flirting with some angles, and Yule's actually out on the second doing his... Oh, he's in lobby rather, doing his best Tempest gamer sort of thing, looking to get an angle, but it's just going to be Madness for the moment who is going to see if he can find an angle. Deft is going to pick off an aggressive Varna who was trying to get onto the side of Madness there, but with Riot up in the sniper, that could sort of work in the favour of the KILLA BEEZ, as Yule's going to get taken down on second.
It was a very lovely jump that he did absolutely nothing with. And speaking of lovely jumps, I think you need to explain that meme for some of the North Americans we have with you, the Tempest Gamer jumps. I think you need to explain that for
Tempest
the Americans.
The prominent jump servers, the Tempest Beginners and Tempest Advanced servers in Australia, are Riot and Yule both being very prominent jumpers in the community, as we're going to see the pause there in real time. It was Redcoat who lagged out, actually, I was informed. So good to see that he is back in it. Mantis is going to take down Varna. Yule's actually up on the Spy, which is an interesting choice, especially from Yule. Not one that I think I've ever seen off-class ever in my time casting Australian TF2 Dreamboat. So let's see if he can get it done, or if whether this is going to be a Euro level spy play or a Paulson level spy play. Let's find out.
Well, you know, there is a first for everything, and the Yule Spy is making its debut. He's popping the cherry on it, and he is sitting right down below, trying to find something. Cookie's very aware of that. Some skeptical pistol play, right? It's going to take out Madness with a headshot. So with Yule behind and a pick, it looks like they want to just go off of this. Yule's in really no man's land right now, as Cookie has run straight forward, missing his shots onto Def, not able to find that kill. We will have a bit of the reset. Now with the Yule back on 2, he could actually get the perfect drop in here. He is moving forward, right in on the medic. He gets the drop. Yule, of course he does. Finds the big kill. And now it's going to be the full sellout. See if they can find anything to the medic. And in fact, it is just going to be all of this coming forward. The Uber's popped out by Locke. They're just going to clean up the players. They should be able to get 2 off of this, as Madness just runs straight through and meet shots Redcoat.
Yep, Force did come out there, and Riot was able to dome TJ, I believe that was. Nice upwards directs coming out from Pause as well. He's probably not the guy that you want to Uber first on that team. He's not in many of their Ubers, but shout-outs to Henry, nicest gamer in ozfortress, with some crispy upwards direct. Riot still up on that sniper. He's taking an angle down through lower here, and it looks like they're just going to be trying to bust in even Ubers here. Other side of Swift, that's a very ambitious play. Lock's going to get taken down so low though by a soul bomb, and he's out of this fight completely. So they need to be able to retake mid here, do KILLA BEEZ with their momentary heal advantage, but they're not able to do it. Arnold is going to get taken down as well by yauch, who was able to close the distance with some nice jumps, I believe that was. Varna going down, Cookie going down, and that is a very ballsy push coming out there from Swift, and they were able to make it work. As Riot's going to dome Pause, really nice shot by Riot. Jesus Christ.
And I don't know if you caught one of the things that made that push so successful for Swift was Locke. When he came back into that fight, Deft was super hurt. He was jumping mid-air, and he actually got a nice arrow from Locke as he rounded the corner. I think he was just throwing out like the pre-fire. I hope this hits something. But he managed to connect to his demo man, saved him in that fight because he was surely dead, and then he just perpetually churned out damage because that's just what Deft does.
Yeah, that's his sort of thing. He likes to look at a dude and then click on him 12 times because Deft, and it's going to be a full Uber advantage up for Locke here. It looks like they're going to be taking it in through Shutter, but they've got Sticks, a Scout, and a Sniper staring at that Shutter door, so they're going to need to use through. Manus gets bounced up into the air, so it's a little bit awkward. Pyro's not going to be doing much. Sentry's going to get taken down. Cookie playing God's class is going to get a bit of damage out before getting minced by the Scouts. Both soldiers still alive here for the side of the Bees, as well as a buff Varna. Varna's going to get taken down very low by a mid shot to the back, and I don't think Sol's going to be able to clutch this one out, and that is a 1-0 with the good cleanup coming in there at the end of the fight from TJ. Sorry, 1-all. I think I said 1-0, but good round there by Swift to even it up.
Oh, you did say 1-0, but we forgive you for that, Yauch, because you have done such a brilliant job. Well, that too. What can you do? But we're into this mid, throwing out stickies around Redcoat. Actually, a little bit faster than Deft this time. That's, again, something that you want to see. But now he's just standing still and eating damage. Has to be arrowed by his team. No one's actually died yet. Finally, Vanna will be going down to Pause, and that's a scout kill early. Riot's raided on the medic. He finds Locke. Arnold's going to be backing out, trying to keep himself alive. Pause getting right up in there, all up in his grill. Not going to be able to find that kill. So a very nice job by the soldier to get that kill on the Locke.
He was just gonna get fed by Redcoat. That is a sting coming out from Redcoat, the Stinger Zygote, onto the big jump of yauch. Pause had a really good mid there. He was able to get behind and get below through the enemy kitchen. Varna went down to try and take a fight with him, but Varna got read by a book and ended up copying a very crispy Pause direct, and he was then able to take down Soul as well, just from that lower pack area. But the full Uber advantage for Arnold is going to be coming back in. Madness is going to commit for it, but Pause with a really nice jump in is going to get the force off, and Locke's actually able to find out a frag onto the low health Riot. They're not going to be able to chase here. The health isn't great on Arnold at the moment, and the cap still hasn't gone, with Sol being the only one on it. That's just about to go now. They need to get in with these 2 picks here, but Locke is edging ever closer to Uber, and the players are going to be up right now for the side of Swift, so they need to get in or get out to the KILLA BEEZ, and they need to make a decision soon. It looks like they're going to get out.
Yeah, they are on full retreat, waving the flag, backing out, trying to grab any space they can because they are at that Uber disadvantage. Locke is going to actually bring yauch and Def straight through Saw right now. They, of course, don't want to pop this Uber. On the other hand, KILLA BEEZ is doing everything they can to get that force right, is well in behind. Could actually get this force if they don't expect them to be there. I think TJ is staring at it, ready to go. And yeah, Madness is just going to walk forward, hopefully 2-shot him, but instead he actually gets cleaned up by Riot. Riot trying to escape, goes down, but still a nice play. Soul finding a kill too. Redcoat gets one as well, and somehow this is just hemorrhaging of players. Oh, Locke has to pop. TJ is all alone. He goes, what? He gets Arnold? How?
Arrogance
TJ, are you
from
kidding?
Arnold. That is an arrogant, greedy hold there from Arnold. I have no reservations in saying that whatsoever. He should not have held that Uber on the HP he was on. He wanted to milk it for all it was worth. Both meds not having the best mid fight there. I liked the play from KILLA BEEZ. He was, they knew they had the spawn advantage, and they knew they were coming up in their Uber, and they were able to connect some very nice shots to kill some overextending Swift players. But Cookie and Redcoat are going to get taken down now. Arnold just getting back up onto the field, and it looks like Swift are going to be pushing in through lower, with Locke having managed to build himself a 40% Uber advantage. No demo man on the field. Big bomb coming in there from Riot, but he's only going to be able to get one rocket onto Locke, and that will signal the retreat from mid for the KILLA BEEZ. Locke with a significant Uber advantage.
Oh man, this game is just going back and forth, back and forth. Locke trying to bring his boys in through Saw. They get a lot of ground off of this. TJ trying to get up through Cheese. Instead, they're just going to be backing out. KILLA BEEZ don't really want to contest this at all. They want to try and get Arnold up on this Uber. And fall back they will.
Indeed they did. They needed to get something going on that second point there, but they weren't really able to, and they've got no off-classes as well. Arnold, Varna opting to go to the sniper, and they seem confident in knowing that they've managed to equalise the Uber situation, though, so it's just going to be a reset here on this last point. Last hold for KILLA BEEZ. Locke is aware of that the Ubers are now even as well, so they managed to get a lot of points off that, so well played to them. Varna's going to be scoping up through top lobby, and we'll probably be seeing a swift sack momentarily, Dreamboat.
One would imagine. Vanna, though, you know, if he hits the nice shot with the op, could find a kill. Instead, he's just going to be mulched by these players. Actually, Vanna and Pause both go down. They go for the double sack. Doesn't pay off.
Yep, good hold there by Arnold, taken down relatively low. Not going to pop that time. Good to see that his confidence hasn't been shaken from that drop. That's a thing that a lot of a lot of medics can suffer for at the lower levels, but Arnold knows what he's doing. Cookie's going to get taken down by a trap on the main door there from Deft. There's a player on second, I believe that was, Riot, going to get taken down by by Deft. Oh my goodness, these names. Yul's going to be floating around in the left side area, and they're going to be taking it in through Shutter here of Swift. They've gotten in a long way without using, actually. Yul's actually on an island. Locke having not committed, but he and Deft are going to be able to find the frag onto Soul and find the Force. Locke under no pressure whatsoever. They didn't even commit to that push. That was very, very well played there by Swift, sort of feigning the push and then backing out again. As Madness up on the sniper, the security sniper is going to find a frag onto Varna as well, so it's all falling apart here for the KILLA BEEZ. Swift are going to be pushing in with a full Uber advantage and a sniper. They're going to pop off the Uber, and they're going to be focusing down the Cookie Pyro. Cookie Pyro doing his darndest, despite the class requiring absolutely no skill whatsoever and being a blight on the game, but the frags are going to get cleaned up there by Swift, and that is a very convincing last push off a very convincing force play. Well played by Swift, and that is going to be 2-1.
Yeah, and it's now their first lead on this second map. They, of course, do lead the series 1-0 right now. KILLA BEEZ need to try and tie this up if they want to force that third map. Force process and book their date with Yugi boys. This mid is going to be huge, yauch.
Yeah, it is. Riot's going to take an early upwards direct, which is interesting. Soul opting to go for the more roamery play of the two BEEZ soldiers going into the kitchen. Soldiers are going to exchange, but Riot is going to get taken down as well, as is Varna. This mid is definitely going in favor of Swift, as they're all going to get bottlenecked into that choke point area going into Saw, trying to back out there, and that is going to signal the end for Arnold and Redcoat, both trying to leave there and both getting caught out. Soul first to die, first to spawn on Engineer, with the security full Uber advantage for Swift.
Yeah, I mean, they need to do anything they can to try and deny this Uber. Yule's already in, trying to spam down the gun. Soul in a lot of trouble, goes down to 24 HP while holding the gun. If that's not stones, I don't know what is.
Uncle Dane would be proud. Yeah, so going to be taking the Uber in through lower here are Swift. They're going to focus down that gun relatively quickly, out in the open a little bit. Varna up on the heavy, and he's going to float Deft. Deft is surely going to crater, and indeed he does. Redcoat's going to get 2 kills of his own with the pipes. Disastrous last push there, as it's just Pause who's going to find a cheeky frag onto Soul before getting taken down by the crossbow of Arnold. Lamau dropped in chat from Locke, and they're going to be able to recap second with a hefty Uber advantage on KILLA BEEZ, and they're going to be taking it into mid. They do need to be wary of the Madness sniper, though, up on mid.
That last push accomplished literally nothing. That was actually hilarious. I love it. TJ trying to put some pressure in down lower, getting pressured out, and he's actually going to go down to Arnold's crossbow. So now Uber advantage and man advantage. This is looking nuts, dude.
Arnold, despite how well Locke's been playing, I think Arnold has outfragged him, so make of that what you will, viewers in Dreamboat. But, yep, 2 players going down, not able to force Arnold pushing into that mid there. Soul's going to get taken very low by a trap Yep, Varna's going to get domed by Madness. Pause is going to get taken down in kind. Soul is out of the fight, but they need to be able to get in and get some space here. They need to lock out the Madness sniper. Madness is going to get traded out for Riot in the end. I think Riot will be happy to take that, but it's still Uber advantage for a little bit longer for Arnold. They need to use it here to KILLA BEEZ, but no one is really in position to use it with them. Cookie being relegated to your position, Kappa, and I think the Uber's going to be able to even out here. Although the Bees are still posturing relatively aggressively.
Yeah, Bees trying to put on any pressure that they can right now, try and buy any form of space. And part of the reason for that is Riot's on Spy. Oh my. What can he accomplish on this class? I mean, we have seen some heroics already on the class from yauch, so we'll see if Riot is his equal or if he's even better.
Yeah, he's up in a relatively interesting position at the moment. He just needs to be careful not to be a spam rocket. Oh, he's got the parkour movement coming out up on the ramp at the moment, but everyone's staring at him. They don't know that he's there, but they're all staring at him. Maybe he's been bumped or something, but Locke is playing super duper paranoid right now. Redcoat's going to actually be able to get taken down by Deft, and at the same time, Riot is going to get taken down. I think there was probably meant to be a distraction from Riot Spy there, but they were very switched onto it with the Swift combo, and Deft able to find a kill onto Redcoat. I don't think that was intentional, and that's probably going to mean this is they're going to have to give up mid here, the KILLA BEEZ.
To be fair, yauch, when you play with Hertz for as long as it had him on that lineup, you kind of do just come to expect to Spy 24/7, since he had the desire to play Spy more than probably any other class in this game. So, I mean, Swift, yeah, they're definitely well-versed in the Spy play, and I guess Riot, you know, they were just aware of that possibility.
Yeah, I think Riot needs to live on a boat. Shout out to anyone who gets that. It's a shit joke. I apologize.
I do get it. I will not laugh, though. I did not find it funny, but I was amused at the same time. Figured that
That's
one
the
out.
way. Riot's up on Sniper, though. This is the pick class that he's been having significantly more success with. He's going to be scoping in through Cheese area, looking to get an aggressive peek into that Saw area and catch anyone off, but it's just going to be a reset on the second here for the KILLA BEEZ. Both scouts are in anti-air denial position, ready to get any bombers. Pause is actually going to come in through the one angle they're not watching and get taken down relatively quickly by Soul while being bounced around while trying to get in. So they need to start getting aggressive with Riot now, because they don't have a roamer to counter sack. They could send Varna, but they need to sort of have this pick class start carrying his weight soon, Dreamboat, because this is an awkward position to snipe from. It's second to mid.
You know, if you can find something, it'd be huge. Madness is actually just going to walk in, take a 1v1 with Cookie, and win it outright. So that's a nice pick so far from Swift, and they're just happy to start grinding this clock down a little bit. We are just inside that 12-minute mark right now. 1 round lead right now. And Swift, really, they're not pressured to do anything because they have the map advantage. That said, Soul, he's just going to walk forward and kill 2 people because he's just a god.
Yeah, he's going to do that. Ubers are going to be exchanged. Sort of their very passive post-Uber here are the KILLA BEEZ, but they do have a pick advantage. They do still have a sniper though, so it's going to be very, very iffy if they're able to get anything done with this, and Deft is locking down that doorway extremely well. He takes a page out of the Elmo demo man book and he shoots the heck out of that doorway. Cookie's going to get taken down. Riot, again, sort of being a little bit more of a burden on this sniper life as I say that, he hits a very, very nice shot onto TJ, but they need to start getting some momentum here to the Bees to push off second, because at the moment, if you're Swift, you are happy to stalemate. You have a map lead, you have a round lead, and they have mid, so they're not going to be in a hurry to do anything, Dreamboat. They need to start finding some initiative, and there we go, Riot finding another frag onto Pause. It might be what they need to push off here for the Bees.
Yeah, Bees doing everything they can to kind of stunt this and see if they can walk forward, get more kills. They're getting raided on top of Locke. That's great damage. When they find yauch, they should find some more kills. Cookie's actually going to get that force out nice and easy. And now it is all on Deft and his scout buddy to try and win this out. But Arnold will pop 2. Redcoat actually runs forward too aggressively and will be fed to Madness. That's a free kill, and this actually could still work out very well. A nice headshot there from Riot onto the scout, but he should go down. And now Arnold must run away as the mulching continues.
That's what we touched on in between map Dreamboat, the sort of organisation in the combos, sort of the difference between the two teams. And we saw just a bit of disorganisation there between Cookie and Redcoat. Redcoat, who wanted to lock out Saw Room and chase out the demo, but Cookie was taking the Uber into Lunchbox, and taking into the kitchen rather, and trying to finish off the frag onto Deft, so both players couldn't be Ubered there, and it was just a disconnect that ended up losing the mid. Pause is going to get taken down to the grass area though by an aggressive scout. He's going to get traded that for Soul, so that's a scout, soldier for a soldier, excuse me, and they're looking relatively comfortable on this second hold here. For the moment, KILLA BEEZ, but Riot is behind, so they do need to back up and give him time to make a play. He's going to be in onto Lock, he's going to pop him up into the air, and huge air shot there. Massive by Riot.
And if you look at chat, you see the fact that he got that air shot, getting the kill at 98% Uber. That is massive. That's essentially a drop, but there was nothing that Locke could do about it.
That is immense there. The huge DM play coming out from Riot. The flank play paying dividends, 98%. That's heartbreaking for Locke. All three flank classes are going to be spawning up for the side of the KILLA BEEZ now. Full Uber advantage, and they're going to be looking to push off last here. They need to be careful not to get back capped, though, as we saw Madness was so proficient at against Zeno last week, Dreamboat. You'd know more than most. But, yeah, Madness is trying it out lower. He's going to get taken down by Riot. Riot playing the... this is sort of a last meal type match at the moment, as Soul is going to get, is going to get taken down and committing for that force. That is 3 players committed for that from SVIFT, and they're not going to be able to touch Arnold, so they're going to be looking to roll this Uber advantage into mid here, the KILLA BEEZ. They're going to be able to meet up with their spawners here on mid. Both soldiers are going to spawn in time, but they're not going to have Uber on the side of Locke, so they're going to be able to keep rolling this, and I'd love to see them take a scout chariot for the Bees, because Locke is still not up on his Uber, but instead they're opting to stack for no one. They've got all 6 players alive, guys. Just go.
Yeah, and I mean, they might actually make the mistake if they're not careful of popping straight through. Maybe they thought that Locke had a bit higher Uber, but no, they look like they're still going for this, so that's a full ad that they've just dwindled because of unnecessarily stacking mid. They're still trying to walk forward, still trying to find a way in. Riot gets raided on the back. He gets that forced out. Riot making hero plays left and right so far this map. He's been an absolute impact performer. Redcoat, though, he's in trouble. He's got a scout running at him. He's going to go down freely to TJ. Dropping your demo is not what you want to see in that situation.
No, that's exactly right. The Scout Chariot Uber is going to come in through lower, though, and Cookie's going to be able to chase down so many frags in combination with Varner, I think. But Locke is giving him the wiggle, and Pause is going to be able to find the frag. Pause was on so low health, and that is a massive beef there by Cookie. That is really, really unfortunate, because the Uber looked good, but I don't know. He definitely beefed his shots, but he didn't have any support from his team on that chase afterwards. He was definitely right to chase that, and if he'd had more players with him, I think that would have worked out for them. As the Bees are going to be pushing in through grass here for the moment. They actually have a temporary player disadvantage with the spawners of Varner and Cookie not there with them yet. Riot's going to get just totally bounced out. Soul is in behind, but he's not able to find the follow-up rocket onto Locke, and that is a huge rocket miss there. Madness is going to get taken down.
Look at
Scout
Pause
Chariot
here.
has arrived. Yeah. Pause is behind, but so is Riot. Riot's going to get a lot of damage done. Pause is going to get taken down, though, by Cookie. It's a very, very scrappy fight here on grass. Riot is still behind. He's trying to hit rockets. He takes down TJ, and he might even live here. This is immense. Riot is playing the game of his life right now, landing up on that thing. Oh my god, he's playing so clutch.
In a game where Bees need a hero, he is doing everything he can, and now Deft has gone down to Cookie. Vanna will lose that to Madness, but then this is a huge 1v1 right now, and the Uber's actually going to be popped off, getting right up in there. Madness going down. Locke trying to stay alive. It's not going to be forced yet at all. He will finally be forced off, and now the escape's trying to happen. Cookie goes down. Arnold being pressured very heavily, but I think his player is going to keep him alive. TJ trying to find this, though. He's grabbed a lot of ground, found Riot. We'll be on to second, and now the Bees are going to have to back up.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Riot spawn on the sniper here, as he has tended to do. Yule's sort of having a bit of a flirt on top of that pipe there with the combo of KILLA BEEZ. Varnas are getting relatively aggressively onto Deft, and they're both going to sort of squeak away from that engagement, both around half health. All the players are going to spawn for the Bees on mid at the moment. Even Uber's basically slight advantage for Arnold, but nothing usable. 4 minutes left on the clock. KILLA BEEZ need to get something going, and I'd love to see them try something off Ubers and just create a scrappy fight, because that's where their players of Riot and Varner and Cookie have really excelled, if they're able to create those scrappy situations.
Well, Vanna is trying to grab some ground, and now the force comes out as they don't want to drop Redcoat. Locke doesn't have, will be taken out. That's a huge pick by Cookie. Still trying to find some more players here. There are a couple caught very deep. yauch and TJ both should be killed. yauch will. TJ might actually find a kill off of this. He's right on Arnold. He does get Arnold. That is absolutely massive. That's the only one alive, though, however. And the cap has come down. This should be a round converted for KILLA BEEZ. Spawns aren't going to come up. It's just Lock and Deft right now. Scouts on the point. Trying to get the kill. Will kill the demo man. That's going to be a round. We are all tied up with 4 minutes left in the game.
Oh, big round, big. I have to apologize there. I said that Uber advantage wasn't big enough to push off for Arnold, but they were well aware of it. It was only a 10% when I said that, but they managed to find Locke, who was caught napping with his building there, taken down, and does cost them a round. Also, Locke's decision to go on to heavy ended up costing Deft his life, and probably that last as well if he'd been able to heal there. As Riot's going to commit to the red kitchen relatively early. Soul's going to take it. Mirrored mids actually. Pause is going to go into the kitchen as well. yauch's going to get behind immediately and clean up the scout, trying to clean him up. Riot going to go down to a scout while trying to make the flank play. yauch finally cleaned up in the back lines, but Pause is still on the hunt here as the combo of the KILLA BEEZ is backing out. He's able to get a nice direct onto Arnold and Redcoat, but he's going to get taken down eventually by Pause. Varna still having a little bit of a look around. And they actually want to recontest this here by the looks of things. KILLA BEEZ not content to stalemate out at 2-all and play for the golden cap. They want to keep being the aggressor here as they're going to trade Ubers into mid, but they're going to find Deft actually, but Locke is nowhere near this fight and they're not going to be able to find him even though he does not have Uber. yauch sort of jumping into a very awkward situation there, but this is going to be a leapfrog of Ubers here for the side of SVIFT momentarily, but the fight is happening on second and it's so messy, Dreamboat.
Yeah, this entire push is so chaotic right now. They actually managed to get mid off of that and force them all the way back towards last. This is absolutely nuts. Finally, the re-aggression should come in. Uber will be popped off on Madness, and Arnold should hopefully escape A-OK. They are going to drop a couple players for it, but still, that was so chaotic. And now with Riot in behind, I think they know he's there. Yeah, he is fighting yauch. He's going to find that kill. He's not going to be able to get the back cap, but they are positioned that if a scout so chooses to find a way in, they could potentially back cap this as the push to mid happens.
Yep, SVIFT are going to be pushing into mid here, but they need to be very careful because the forward spawns will be coming in from second for KILLA BEEZ, and Arnold is very nearly up on his Uber. If they commit too many to this cap, they are in danger of getting crunched by the Uber, and that's what they want to do on the side of KILLA BEEZ. Deft is going to get launched in, but Locke is going to be able to scout Chariot out of there. They were sort of a little bit too preoccupied with that Deft frag who'd been taken out of the fight dream, but they needed to commit more for the combo. Pause down very low, is going to be able to get out, but they're going to be committing to this fight here off Uber while Deft is still down. Soul in super deep, is not going to be able to find any frags as the retreat is still going on there from SVIFT. A lot of damage being put into top lobby by Redcoat, and they're going to be able to cap up in the second here. 30% Uber advantage for Block, 6v6 at the moment. Cookie could get taken down, he just manages to squeak it out. But with a minute 20 left, you are definitely in survival mode here if you were SVIFT, because you probably can't go coast to coast while it's even with this Uber advantage. But it looks like they're going to try it and risk the back cap. Very ambitious play. Big bombs coming up into bats to try and force Lock from Soul. Soul has been caught out on an island, but Riot is on last. He's been seen by 2 people there, so it's really awkward. Soul's going to find 3 frags though. How has he managed to do that on bats? That's what happens if you leave 2 to try and be too paranoid of a back cap, and it looks like KILLA BEEZ are going to be able to roll this to last. Locke hasn't used his Uber, but Arnold has his now. They were too worried about getting back capped as Ubers are going to be exchanged. 2 spawners coming in from the side of SVIFT. Are they going to get totally locked out though? Are yauch and Deft? Point is getting played a little bit by SVIFT, by KILLA BEEZ. It's so far gone, and the scout cleanup is going to come in, and that is 2-3 with 30 seconds left during vote. Wow, what a comeback from KILLA BEEZ.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Soul on second was an absolute monster. Single-handedly won that round for them. As we have now, with 20 seconds left, it's impossible for SVIFT to win it. We are going to map 3. Both of these teams not wanting to say goodbye to set that date with Jasmine T in the grand finals, or I guess Yugi boys as they are technically known. Man, oh man.
What a match that
game
was. Oh wow, that's interesting, and we see this a little bit in finals, Dreamboat. The upsets in terms of the map pick, both teams have won each other's map picks now. You said float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Honestly, if you're stinging like Riot is at the moment, then that's going to do plenty enough damage. He has had an absolutely immense game that time, and they've been able to sort of play a little bit more their style for KILLA BEEZ. They've been able to force scrappy fights, and that's where I think they are at their best, while they are holding W and just creating utter madness, and that's what they need to be able to do come Process. And I think Process is a pretty good map for that, which will be out of sight of Dreamboat, but Oh, that was, oh man, I could talk about that forever. That sort of that ill-fated last push off last, I should say, for Swift. They left 2 on last when they needed to either commit all or just defend last. And oh
So
wow, what a map!
part of what that was is it wasn't actually that they left 2 on last. They heard that Riot was going last, and rather than just sending 1 scout back, they actually sent 2 players back to deal with Riot. Riot didn't even go for the point at all. He just went for the kind of the distraction there. But because of that, that allowed the mulching to come in on second and turn that into a nightmare scenario. Is Riot just once again, like, how many times this entire map have we said that Riot has gone huge? Because he went absolutely massive. And again, with the distraction, that was enough to draw players back. They annihilate them on second, and somehow KILLA BEEZ turned that into a game.
What a map. What a map. As we're going to be, I'm going to have a quick sticky beak at the logs here before we get on to map 3, Dreamboat. Sorting my damage, Deft and yauch top of this board again, but then Riot coming in 3rd place. Deft putting out significantly more damage than anyone else in the server. Also, not taking the most heals on his team, which is interesting. He did put out a lot of damage, but you got to wonder sort of what's happening there, that all that damage is not getting capitalized on. He's 2,000 damage above the next closest person, Dreamboat, but just, yeah, not a lot of capitalization happening, and there's some interesting KDs going on as well. Riot going absolutely massive, 22 for 22 on a map that is relatively tricky for roamers, is absolutely immense, with Paws a little bit sadder on the other side, going 11 for 23. What stands out to you, Dreamboat?
I think it's honestly the fact that Soul has so little damage, but so many kills his pocket. It's just, you don't usually see that. You don't usually see the pocket doing cleanup duty, but he's apparently on it. And I mean, the other thing that stands out to me is the fact that Redcoat, like, yeah, you mentioned not having a great map, only 240 DPM, but he's also taking 270 damage per minute. That's a big difference, that as a demo man, you're not churning out the damage that you're taking. You're not having anywhere near the impact you need. So I'm kind of impressed that they won that kind of in spite Redcoat, if you could say it's in spite of him there.
Yeah. Rough Trot, coming into Process, this is a good demo map. I don't think there's any two ways about it, and I think it'll suit Redcoat's style of demo more, which is sort of a very damage-oriented rather than DM one. He wants to get out there and just create, like, a throw stickies and pipes everywhere and just damage everything, take both buffs off both scouts. So this will be interesting. This is the map that he needs to really get himself back into the game, I think. Yeah, also a very scout dominant map. So the same thing applies as we said for Snakewater, I think, Dreamboat, is that Swift want to do the scout chariot. They want to get their scouts in cleanly and just ride that heal beam all the way into the enemy's team and just crush them. And that is what you don't want to happen if you are KILLA BEEZ. You want chaos and you want scrappy fighting going everywhere. So this will be an interesting one to see. As I'm just going to duck off and get some water as the teams are readying up. So take me to mid, Dreamboat, when they do ready.
I will do so, yauch. And I mean, one of my favorite things as a very bad player at this game is the fact that this is entirely one ramp. So stay tuned. Watch for the fact that Riot and Pause should go absolutely mental, just sliding, slipping, and doing some sick jumps across this map. We will see which team will punch their date with the Yugi boys in the grand final. Will it be KILLA BEEZ? Will it be Swift AU? We are into this first mid fight. Riot going very deep, very early, right into their sewers, and now we have the pressure coming in. Spam back and forth. Bomb coming in from Soul right now, trying to get on to lock. He will be taken out. Riot will be coming in back behind. He too should be cleaned up. And Madness with 3 kills already into this mid fight. Looking for 4. Will he find Vanna? It is actually going to be TJ to get that one, but the mulching coming in. Arnold's in all kinds of trouble. He'll go down. A clean wipe. Pause, the only one to die for Swift AU, and that is a huge response to the round they just dropped on Snakewater.
Hello, I am back, and KILLA BEEZ are dead, Dreamboat. That is not what you want if you're a bee. Soul first to die, first to spawn up on the gun again, but his poor little gun is going to get taken down, and again by yauch. That's just heartless.
He's dedicated, though. He's going for the 3rd time.
3rd time. This is a as I've said in other casts, this is a sort of Sigafu wet dream of the last defense. We've got 4 utils coming out here as Sentry Gun's going to get taken down for the 1000th time or something like that. But TJ and Madness both getting dropped in the Uber there. Deft is going to get taken down super low, and Cookie is just mowing people down. It's that heavy's got some shades of the Elmo heavy there, and that is going to be a full wipe with 6 still up for KILLA BEEZ on that last push. Not what you want if you are Swift, and Arnold is up on a significant Uber advantage pushing out on the second.
Well, you know, full wipe it mid. You may as well full wipe them when they push into last, because that was a beautiful Stonewall. Cookie, Cicerus, rocking the heavy. And are we paused?
Yes. Yes, we are.
Oh, okay. You had me worried. Like, this guy's floating, and then I'm like, are we paused? There's just giant delay. Yauch is like, just gonna let Dreamboat sit here panicking like he's lagging out or something. No. We gotta pause. Nothing again too evident. I thought it was Redcoat having issues last time, if I remember correctly. So we'll see if we can get to the bottom of this one, Yauch. That's kind of your specialty, finding out why these pauses are coming in. But they are trying to push into mid here, and pretty much everybody from Swift is waiting. However, there is a mad Uber advantage on Arnold. How would you do this push?
I would do this push exactly the way they're doing it. I'd have Riot jump through, I'd have him check the designated roamer spot above sewer, and I'd have him check for stickies around choke and around rock. Then I'd try and like just walk my demo in, and even bomb my demo in and walk my scouts across the point. Def's got a few traps sort of floating around at the moment, but they see where he is, so they're going to be mindful of those traps around somewhere, because if he's this forward, he's been putting up traps somewhere. He's got one of them above IT, and I don't actually see another one though, so that could just be me, or he could be waiting to stick himself off as he retreats. So yeah, I think they've got a relatively good mid push here going on, and yeah, not really much to speak of, especially with Pause, and I believe Pause still in the spawn, Lock and Madness relatively passively positioned, who have just spawned up. So yeah, you're looking to get in clean here and just sight everything that you could possibly do. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about that one. I still don't have a reason for the pause. Honestly, it's because I didn't ask. I don't want to bother these players. It makes me feel bad.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. So, you know, I love the fact, by the way, I just gotta say, oh, hold on. I'm having connection problems right now telling me that I'm getting auto disconnected. So that's good. I might be gone. So we'll see if I'm just dead.
You gosh darn Canadian.
I'm done. I am absolutely out of here. Rest in peace, my connection to the GoTV. Rip me.
Yeah, no, actually it wasn't just you. That's what I am being told. We have got 5 players who've timed out of the server, so they're going to be switching servers. So I think we'll get Thermite to throw up the splash cam. Yeah, that's a shame. Those server issues have been plaguing us a little bit for the last little while now, so I will see if I can get us a quick STV. If I imagine they'll be restarting this map here, Dreamboat, which should be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's early enough that you know, you don't lose anything by trying to restart this. So yeah, we're in a situation here. I mean, of course, this is map 3 when we get there. I guess get back there. Between Swift AU and KILLA BEEZ, they were the 2 and 3 seeds this season. Both teams quite solid. I mean, they've really put up a good fight. Although, aside from that first map, and I think that's going to be kind of the talking point if KILLA BEEZ don't manage to win this, is what was their thought process picking Granary? Because if they felt confident on it, they really didn't look it when they played it.
I understand, because it is the map that they took right down to the wire against Yugi Boys. So I don't know. I see we've got a few of the Yugi Boys in chat. I see Lau, I see Paulson, I seen Rocky somewhere. I'm sure that everyone else is sort of floating around. I'm sure there's a 9-year-old girl frog in there somewhere, but they are going to be watching this, and they're going to be going, if we weren't already going to ban Granary, we're probably going to ban Granary coming into the grand final. Assuming, honestly, if they're playing against either of these teams, that's a safe bet. Both of these, the team that took it very, very close to them on Granary ended up coming off second best on that map by quite a convincing margin. So, yeah, it'll be an interesting one come grand final, Dreamboat, depending on who gets there, because we don't know who they're going to be playing yet, and there's no real way of knowing. It's been a close game.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the great things, is that we do have a very intriguing season on our hands. It's been a while since, probably back to the Jasmine T versus, were they Ego? I called them Ego. The X Immunity team.
Ego's not a word. Ego's a word.
Have you never heard of Ego waffles?
Yes, there's 2 G's, you ding. Yes.
Is it really?
Pretty sure. I don't know, we don't have them here, but
Oh.
I'm pretty sure that's 2Gs.
Oh,
Someone
it
can
is
fact
two
check this.
Gs.
Someone get up there.
That
Yeah,
wow. I
you friggin'
almost thought it was
dingus.
1G. I am a dingus.
Well,
Well,
what would it be 2Gs?
that
Egg's
but
got 2Gs in it. Spell egg.
oh my god, that's why it's Ego. Holy shit. This is revolutionary moments here with Dreamboat. How deep does my ignorance run? But no, I like. Anyways, trying to complete that point that completely got sidetracked right there. I I think this is probably the closest season that we've had since that season. Overall, like that season was super close. You know, there were a lot of really good teams, and I think this is kind of the first season that ozfortress has kind of had that kind of stability again. Would you agree?
Yeah, no, I will agree. I actually had this chat to Yukari, our expert and analyst, a couple of days ago. It was we talked about it being the closest season since the Ego v Jasmine days, but it's even back then, it was the top two teams, the Ego and the Jasmine, and then there was a definite divide between 3 and 4. At the moment, we have seen the top 4 teams take maps off each other the entire season. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see as I'm going to try and sort out this STV Dreamboat.
Fair enough. And I, mentioning that season, I will have to give a quick shout out to my boy CKM, the absolute legend, because I think that was his last season. He might have played one more season after that. Sad times. But yeah, we are just waiting for these STV issues to be rectified, trying to find a new server wherever they end up going. So in the meantime, we are going to kick to music. You can enjoy the stylings of DJ Thermite, and we will be back shortly with the actual third map.
Baby, baby, come on now. Come on, give it up. Baby, baby, on, feel bad. On, baby, come on now. I really need you. Baby, baby, come on now. On, give it up. Baby, baby, on, feel bad. On, baby, come on now. I really need you. Baby, baby, come on now. On, give it up. Baby, baby, on, feel bad. On, baby, come on now. I really need you.
All right, guys, thank you for bearing with us and welcome back. We do have a new STV. We are in a new server, which will be commencing. I'm not actually too sure what the teams have agreed here. I imagine it'll just be a total map restart, Dreamboat. But yeah, in case you've just joined us or are confused as to what exactly is going on, this is map 3 of the semi-final of ozfortress Premier Season 21 between the KILLA BEEZ and SWIFT AU. Winner of this map in particular, as it is one map apiece, will be going on to play against the Jasmine iteration of the day, which is Yugi Boys, next week sometime here on TF Live, so that will be interesting. They are changing the map time limit back to 27, so it looks like they might try and recreate the situations that the match were in, which is interesting, considering the Uber advantages and who had what things. So yeah, interesting to see what they do, Dreamboat.
Well, I will tell you what happens if I ever actually get in. I'm having issues connecting. This is unfortunate. I'm having the issues.
So we are going to have Superstar Thermite troubleshoot our hapless egg-brained Canadian friend.
Whoa, egg brain.
Yeah, well, maybe not egg-brained. Otherwise, you'd know how to spell it, you doofus. We do have
That's
11 in the
unfortunate.
server at the moment, but yeah. How are you guys going tonight, chat? We'll sort of, yeah, I don't know what the teams are doing here. It's been a hell of a game. Definitely hitting some nutty pipes in pre-games. I'm having a look at the moment, but yeah, both teams, two very interesting performances, two very different performances. KILLA BEEZ are riding the momentum wave off the last map, and SWIFT are probably the more clean team, but yeah, they're a clean-looking team as far as tonight goes. 12 in the server. How you going, Dreamboat?
I'm still failing, so that's an adventure. I will let you know if I make it here.
Okie dokie. Fingers crossed that you do. I don't know any reason why you shouldn't. I can't think of any, but oh yeah, that is a lot. So good. Hi Foz in chat. I am glad to hear that you're doing well. I want to give a quick few plugs actually while we're waiting things to get undergoing here. First and foremost is the Ready Up TF2 documentary. For those of you who weren't able to catch it on Rewind, has actually been uploaded to YouTube today. So if you're looking to get a fix of the feels and some of great TF2 action, then be sure to check that out. I think the link is on Team Fortress TV, so be sure to check that out. Another shout out for ozfortress. If you are a team captain from season 21, be sure to get your votes in because, yeah, votes will be announced with the grand finals, which are results which will all be next week. How are we going, Dreamboat?
Still MIA. I will. I'm working on things with Thermite. We'll see if I can get in there. There may be nothing I can do. We could try and get Xander in and see if he can have this work. I am going to try just rebooting TF2 and see if, for whatever reason, that fixes my issues. So bear with me. I will hopefully get in at some point.
Yeah, that's fingers crossed. I'm still curious as to what they're trying to do because, yeah, as far as... Yeah, well, as far as the official ruling of it goes, they should restart from 27 minutes, which is when the server timed out, but the server conditions, yeah, server conditions weren't, sort of like the conditions of the match weren't exactly like a relatively even fight, so it'll be interesting here, as I've just heard a ding-dong of someone joining Mumble who can talk, hopefully for me, while I get this sorted. Hello, Foz, how are you?
Good evening, yauch. I'm doing well. I hear I might be needed to assist in this cast.
That is potentially. I am rebooting. I will hopefully arrive. We will see whether or not I am successful with my reboot. Otherwise, you know, Australia, they may just ban Canadians from trying to connect to your servers, and yeah, that would be an unfortunate situation.
Yeah, that is it. Yep, so hopefully we'll be able to get it going. I will tell, while we've got Foz in here, the proprietor of TF Live, Praise be fozzlm, I assume you're on the STV, Foz, so I'll let the teams know that you guys can go whenever.
I'm just connecting now, but yes.
So I wouldn't let them know, because if he's on the same issue I'm having, where you just sit on connect the server for an hour.
Oh, he's not
it says
Canadian.
Connection failed. I do have a very small possibility. I wonder if there's like an actual like STV connect limit.
I don't think that would be it. I think it's got a relatively large amount of slots, but yeah, as I'm
If it
being
was,
informed
if it was
that
only
I think,
2, though.
I'm indeed in.
Yep,
Okay.
someone is
Well-
AFK on the side of the team, so we're gonna have to pregame anyway if you want to stick around a little bit, Dreamboat. I want to hear the predictions from chat as well coming into this map. Both teams have managed to lose their own map picks coming into this, if that pays into your prediction at all. This was a KILLA BEEZ pick. I don't really know what I'm predicting. Foz, how much have you been able to catch?
I got here at the tail end of the last map. It was a terrific end to Snakewater, might I add you, but saw nothing of the first map, so my experience is wholly based off of about 7 minutes of gameplay.
I think it's be fair to say that he's caught the best 7 minutes of the bunch, isn't that right, Dreamboat?
Alright, I'm focusing on things because apparently my IP is banned.
Yeah, that's quite alright. The team should be readying up momentarily, but yeah, you definitely caught the end of it. We caught sort of the big final hurrah coming in from KILLA BEEZ and a bit of an ill-fated push out of last from SVIFT as we are going live in real time. Foz, if you haven't caught any of this, I'm sort of, from a more of an outsider's perspective, I'd be curious to know what your prediction is for this, this match.
I'm gut feeling it. I'm going to go KILLA BEEZ for free golden cap.
Alright,
Well,
we're going to be going the full distance then in that case.
I will leave you lads to it. I'm going to say that Swift take it 4-1 right now. It's not going to be too particularly close. And I will leave you guys to have a genius cast. Have a great evening, everybody, and rest in peace, Dreamboat.
Yeah,
Rest
we'll
in
put
peace,
some
Dreamboat.
RAP Dreamboats in chat. Thank you very much for coming out and casting to our favorite North American TF Live ally caster. We've got a lot of Euros, but it's good to have some North American representation as well. From the champion continent of TF2. I'm going to sort of split the difference. We've got one person saying it's going to be close in favor of KILLA BEEZ. We've got one person saying it's going to be relatively easy for SVIFT. I'm going to say that it's going to be 7-all at the end of regular time, with SVIFT taking it after a 30-second golden cap after a 7-all. That's what I'm going to say. Last time I made a prediction like that, it nearly came true in an ozfortress match. I don't know if you recall, Foz.
I'm liking that prediction, yauch. I'm digging that, as we do hear the 3-2-1 come down from the lovely voiceover. So, do you want to take us through this first mid, yauch?
I certainly will, but I will just first take a moment to rebut a point Yukari made in chat. Nothing is as bad as your process means Yukari bite me.
Hey,
as we're going to see both demos arriving at roughly the same time, neither really opting to go for their pack, just sort of launching stickies at each other and having a bit of a stare-off at the moment. Redcoat's going to cop a crossbow from his medic, and there's going to be a soldier in deep behind Sewer. Both soldiers in deep for the KILLA BEEZ. Soul and Redcoat are going to go take him down. Riot still behind him. He's going to be able to take down Locke, importantly, so that'll probably signal the retreat here from Arnold, making sure to get his heals out. Both scouts in tow, leaving mid. It was that big one from Riot early in the mid behind into the sewer that ended up taking it, being the difference maker. As Arnold's going to hit a very nice surf out, as Yule and Bun are going to trade out at the choke there. That's probably a little bit overconfident from the side of KILLA BEEZ, thinking they could hold choke there with just the 2 scouts, but that is a mid-win and an uber advantage. Oh, mid-win for SVIFT and an uber advantage for KILLA BEEZ, Foz.
Yeah, so I was listening in your little pre-game talk as we actually I'll hold off now. As KILLA BEEZ comes in, pause with a big bomb. Oh, gets a lovely up rocket onto Arnold, takes him out on 97% Uber. That is devastating. Looks like BEEZ still. Log is going down so low. Can the chip damage come in? Yes, it does. Cookie with a long-range scattergun cleans it up, but on the it's not really working out for his team as frag after frag is falling. You see Redcoat and Bon are just slowly making their way out. So, I mean, they get Log, but they completely fluff that push into mid.
Yeah, huge plays there by Paws. He didn't have the best Snakewater in the entire world, but he was able to just time that bomb absolutely to perfection to get in and clean up Arnold. Both mates are going to be spawning at around about the same time. Even Ubers, for all intents and purposes, no Chris Kriegs out on the field, which is something we haven't seen this best of 3, which is a little bit of a shame, honestly. I'd like to see a little bit of creativity thrown in there. SVIFT are going to be happy just to posture up on the midpoint. Arnold's actually managed to build himself out a little bit of an advantage here. A little bit like the last round, but I don't think this is a push they really need to make with that Uber advantage. Riot and Varna doing a little bit of poking around in the IT area, seeing if they can bait someone in, but we're just going to be seeing a mid to second stalemate here, I imagine, Foz.
Yep, I think everyone's favourite part of TF2, as I feel like my net is lagging horribly.
I don't think it is.
Oh no, we get a bit more of a stable connection here. So again, yeah, some pretty standard spam being traded. Soul getting down a bit low, takes the health pack, and some stickies being shot. I mean, this is where TF2 is at its absolute peak. But I mean, I don't really blame the team. Obviously, you know, this being map 3, the chance to make it into the grand final. You're obviously going to play cautiously here. You're not just going to throw away a round for the sake of it and hope that you can pull it back. So every play matters here.
Yeah, it looks like the soldiers of Swift are going to be looking to get something done at choke. Paws going to go in for a big double bomb, and he's actually going to drop Arnold. That's 2 from 2 from Paws bombs onto Arnold. He's absolutely on fire this map after a relatively sleepy Snakewater. Paws is just doing absolutely huge amounts of work. He's channeling Riot from the last map, as it looks like side of Swift are going to be taking it in through sewer here, walking it in from that grass. Deep
Oh, the bomb
by Riot.
No
he
way.
pops Lock up a very long way. Lock is so hurt. He's on 12 HP. He's not any sort of amount of splash damage is going to take him down, but he's going to retreat back into the safety of sewer, as the side of Swift are going to be able to cap up onto the mini spire there, and we'll be looking to roll this into last. Heavy of Cookie and Sniper Ivana for the last defense. Their last push on this map was relatively poor. No, I'd say relatively poor. It was totally dreadful from Swift in the previous server. They're going to be taking it in through door 4. Redcoat's found himself isolated in panic room a little bit, so point will be played. Cookie is going to get taken down after doing a fair bit of damage on the heavy class. Deft playing point, gets taken down low, eats a crossbow, but point is going to be played by the flank in the end of TJ and Paws, and then it's going to be 1-0 to Swift.
Yeah, that Uber actually caught me by surprise that they were still able to capitalize and turn that into a round, because the first maybe 4 or 5 seconds of that Uber, they basically focused it onto no one. They kind of took it into the right side, but they weren't even really putting out consistent damage on any one player, but just that cleanup at the end, really consistent balling as team is really big balling there from right, gets into the enemy IT. They know they're there, but they're not going to chase him. Yauch is actually going to take him for a one-on-one now. Fancy little Roma trade. Right comes out second best, and as that happens, Soul and Barnard just plus forward, get a couple of frags to their name. Madness drops as well, and it's just Lock and TJ. Oh, Lock with a fantastic surf. Just escape from a Riot there. Really fast. We're getting some good medic movement in this game already, at least in this map from what I've seen. But it is KILLA BEEZ comfortably taking that mid fight. Really good early distraction work from Arnold there.
Yeah, Varna's going to sack in onto last there, maybe a little bit prematurely, because both soldiers are still not up for the KILLA BEEZ, and they're not going to be in on second here, so there was probably a small window there where Swift could have pushed out if they were so inclined, but that time has passed now. I expect we'll see Varna sworn up on the sniper, and indeed we do. Yeah, really good mid there by the soldiers of KILLA BEEZ. Riot sort of going as the distraction going behind, but then the big follow-up bomb from Soul, he went very high. It was very pencil jumpy looking. Tom Eunice would have been proud of that pencil jump, but it did a lot of work, and it just allowed the damage to come in from the sky as they walked across the point, and won the mid for did the KILLA BEEZ, as Swift are going to be rotating over here to a lobby hold. They've just got stickies on the top and bottom shutter doors at the moment. Redcoat is peeking it quite aggressively, but he's actually going to get taken down relatively low just from the spam damage. But if they peek this lobby too aggressively, Lock is actually crouched down below. They seem to be aware of the Varna sniper, but they need to be careful. Varna's taking an angle in through door 1 at the moment, which is getting watched intently by Madness and Paws, as he's going to get a little bit confident and nearly take down Paws, but Paws is going to get crossbowed back up to health, so we're just going to be staring at doors with snipers for the moment, I think, Paws.
Yeah, Manus was playing with fire there at the end. He was just sort of ADing back and forward right in the only sightline Varna had from that shutter door. But yeah, very slow match there. That comes up into rollout and actually survives. I do not know how that splash rocket didn't hit him. I think that a teammate might have actually hidden some of that damage up for him. So Varna very lucky to survive there on about 13 HP. Gets healed back up, and it looks like rotating through lobby with the support of his Demo and Soul gets one pot shot off, but not able to really connect anything, as Redcoat's continuously eating a lot of spam into this little stairwell here. As Varna tries to take another peek, but gets a bit overconfident, gets taken out by Yauch, so we might see an aggressive play come out here from... Nope. Okay, Yauch dies.
Yauch explodes. No, that's
Yauch
fair.
explodes.
The counter set coming out, Cookie thought he spotted Deft alone in lobby there, but He was not alone at all, and Cookie ended up getting taken down by a combination of 3 players. But Riot, oh my god, he's going to be able to drop in. He was looking at 2 different players in there. He was sort of directing his attention. He got one early rocket onto Lock, and Lock tried to go back in and heal his players, but Riot just said, no, I'm just going to direct you, and drops him.
He just walked past TJ. He was like, hang on, I'm on 50 HP. Why do I bother shooting a scout when I can walk through this doorway and get a single 100 damage rocket onto the medic? That was one of the most bizarre Roma plays I've ever seen, but it worked perfectly. The sentry gun goes down, pause goes down, the Uber comes out, Yule drops as well, Lock's on barely in health, desperately trying to keep this two scouts alive. Lovely play there from Cookie, and there we go, the cap play as well from Cookie. Beez tied up 1-1 after just a Roma play that involved no jumping, but waddling through a doorway.
Both Romas, whether it's been the big pause bombs or the Riot Waddle, have been playing extremely well so far this map. So that is 1-1. KILLA BEEZ versus Swift, mid number 3 here with 18 minutes left to play. Redcoat is actually going to miss his pack in its pause. This time he's going to go for the aggressive fast rollout behind into the enemy IT. Sol taking that early king of the high ground position, and he's going to go flying up. Both soldiers focused onto Deft. Sol's going to get taken down in turn, but I don't think that's a trade he will mind taking. Pause has taken a long time, and he's been taken out of this fight relatively convincingly.
Bomb comes in now, gets one rocket on Arnold. Oh my god, Pause is so good at this video game, yauch.
Dude,
he's just so good.
He spent a long time behind, and I thought with the amount of damage he's taken, they sort of had his number and knew he was there, but around that choke, again, he is able to get Arnold. Really good play there, and a very necessary play since Locke did get taken down. Locke, being the earliest spawner, is going to have slight Uber advantage as he's rolling out. With Deft now, it's about 20%, so it'll be interesting to see whether they opt to do anything with this, as the KILLA BEEZ are going to reset on second after the mid-win and the delayed death of the KILLA BEEZ medic. So see what they opt to do here. I think we'll probably just be waiting for Ubers in this sort of situation, Foz.
Yeah, Arnold's been... Oh, wait, you know why Arnold's been building so well, yauch?
Oh, yes.
Take a look at his medigun.
Finally,
can you please focus your camera onto Arnold in third person?
And they're walking right into it, into the sewer area. Fritz is going to come out, and they're going to find Locke immediately. Deft is going to jump in and try and find a frag. Riot's going to get taken down in the corner. Deft is still behind, but the pinch is coming in. It's been reasonably effective so far from Swift. The Madness coming in from the flank, and Pause is behind as well. They need to deal with these flanker players, but the double soldier bomb has been timed to perfection, nearly. They're going to find Cookie, and they're going to find Sol, but Varna left alive. Riot doing a good job to defend himself with the crossbow there as well, and that is a good fight.
Was spectacular. That entire fight, he was trapped between a rock and a hard place, and by that I mean mini spire and a fence, and he just was matrixing away all that damage, so that they do have to back out of this point as a rampaging Swift are coming in. But yeah, Arnold's movement in that fight there was absolutely clinical. 100% on the crits coming up, and they get an early frag on TJ, so that losing that aggressive scout, and Pause is actually going to go down as well. Cookie and Vaughn are doing a fantastic cleanup job there, so they get this point completely for free. Locks on 50% Uber, and this crit is ready to come in whenever Beez so choose to play it.
It looks like they're going to be taking it in through sewer. Yule's going to be jumping in very aggressively. He's probably going to get peppered down by the scout. Actually, Madness is able to take down Cookie before he's able to find that frag, but Sol in behind is actually going to get locked. This crits is just totally on nothing at all. He actually finds TJ at the end of it there, but it was all the flank play from the soldiers there that did all the work. Locke going down again. He has died more in this last little sort of period of play than we saw him do in the entirety of Granary, and for most of Snakewater as well, as heal advantage there for the KILLA BEEZ. Deft is looking to sort of just have a bit of a peak on second, but is going to get forced out. Heals are there though, and players are there for Swift, and they're going to be able to fight this out. Madness and Yule combining to take down Varna, and that is a solid retake on the second. But Riot's behind. He's in IT, and he's able to find 2 before getting taken down by Pause. Deft is going to get taken down by Redcoat, and Locke is in a lot of trouble. It looks like he's more just going to be able to squeeze out, but both soldiers are behind for Swift. They're coming in. They're going to find Arnold, but that's a relatively meaningless frag while he was on crits. Locke is the only one left alive, and they need to start going to last now while he's the only one spawner, but 3 spawners are probably going to come in. Cookie's playing to cap. It could be very, very close, but he's actually going to manage to get it before the spawns get there. And that is a huge play from KILLA BEEZ to take a 2-1 advantage, and probably a bit of a mistake from both Swift soldiers committing for that med frag on second rather than getting out and living as a combat class.
Yeah, so Redcoat's been a bit quiet at the start of this map, but his last probably minute of play there was absolutely fantastic. In terms of getting out damage, frags, and zoning players, really critical in making sure Bees capture the last point. So as we get to this next mid fight, things are going pretty
Oh my
forward
God,
with
Sol.
a fuzz bomb. Actually, no, it doesn't matter. Soul is just gonna send Lock to the Shadow Realm.
But Madness is going to be able to clean up. Madness is going to be able to clean up Arnold. Excuse me, as it's just 2 scouts left alive.
MGE.
Yep, this is going to be an
MGE.
ad. Whatever mid this is, I don't know what number this is. This is a shit
so-
MGE arena, but yeah,
7.
TJ's gonna 7. There you go. I'm being told that TJ wins that 1v1 comfortably.
Asia
What?
Fortress confirmed better than ozfortress. You heard it here
Yeah.
first, folks.
Sol got bounced up while doing his sort of pencil jumpy high bomb type thing. He got sent up very, very high, but with his remaining rockets, he managed to first bounce Lock into the sort of nook in the rock there, and then hit a second one straight into his face. Nice 2 rockets from an altitude that you wouldn't think would be able to 2-rock a medic, but they were expertly timed. But the cleanup from the scouts was too strong on the side of Swift, and it was what it was able to catch out Arnold at the end of that fight. Cookie not able to protect him from protect Arnold from TJ, I believe that was. So we're just going to see a reset here. Lock is coming very close to Uber, slight Uber advantage, but I don't think there's any crits on the field this time. So
There is not. And also, Arnold's been building these Ubers and these stalemates incredibly effectively. Look, Edvin's team, if they really did that properly, they could have had about 20% dot push. I'll say that as Paws launches himself, but actually gets suspended mid-air and kind of slams himself into the side of the mini spy there. So it's might, there we go, Riot Bomb come in after the descent from Sol, gets 1 rocket onto Lock, who starts his way up on top of Crate. So Roma for a Roma, pretty standard affair, but Deft looks like he wants to make the big plays here. No, it's not, but it's given chance for Yule to get off to the side of we're here, so he might be doing it, but nope, just a raw aggression come in. They catch Redcoat out of position. Deft also trades, so it's both demos down for either team. Lock is going really far back as they clean up Soul, but TJ and Yule now go down, so this is a really scrappy fight, and it looks like Bees might be getting the better end of this as Varner comes in from behind and is peppering the Scout of Madness so much and pauses down to about half health, and it looks like, yep, Swift make one ill-informed play there. The team scatters over about 3 locations, and in the end, they lose mid on that.
I'm glad that Varner decided to hold W there, because that favor was definitely in favor of that fight was definitely in favor of the Bees, and he was the one that sort of said, you know what, I'll cop it, I'll initiate with no buff on Scout. He just ran in, he met up with his rolling out Redcoat and with his rolling out Riot rather, and they were able to take mid were the Bees. Even Ubers again. Neither med died in that exchange, I believe, so we're just going to be able to see what the Bees want to do to try and crack this. It was the Roma bomb that came in last time, I believe it was, so I would be surprised if it's anyone other than Riot that goes for this sack play here. But Sticks are around on the corner, so he could get launched in. There he is, he's going for the big double bomb. He's not going to find 1 rocket onto Lock at all. He finds a rocket onto Madness, going past the mini spire, but that's about it.
Yeah, Lock predicted that perfectly, and it looks like Swift want to really capitalize on this pick right away. They are streaming through PEC here. They pop the Uber really early, and that's a bit of a yikes Uber as Bees only pop theirs now. Varner's chasing them, holding that W key once again into Suez. Deft is gonna definitely get caught out here. He's on like 1 HP. Varner gets a long-range scattergun here, and I like the aggressive play there. I really do. But okay, Arnold with long-range cross-spawn to you as I get interrupted there by that terrific frag. But I was just gonna say, they popped that Uber far too early out of PC there.
Yeah, it was a very ambitious Uber, and when you've got an Uber like that, you've got to be able to scatter your players once the other pop comes in, but their players all just tried to retreat out through IT. Cookie had some immense cleanup there. He's on a 4K dislike. Deft's actually going to eat a crossbow and a direct from Riot. He's going to crater onto the point, and that's going to be 3-1 in favor of KILLA BEEZ. The first map pick that we've seen actually coming in favor of the team that picked it. They're looking good at the moment of KILLA BEEZ. They're looking the more patient team, which is interesting, because it's sort of been Swift who've been the more, I don't know, controlled and reserved team, as we're on to mid number 5, I believe. Both demos just going to sort of stare at each other. We haven't seen much earlier demo aggression from either team. Soul's going to do his pencil jump thing again. Deft's going to get popped up a long way into the air and taken down by a very nice fadeaway rocket by Riot. But Riot and Soul are both going to trade their lives for it. And the collapse is coming in from Madness and TJ as they just walk across the point and clean up all of those KILLA BEEZ combo classes. Arnold and Cookie are out to last, importantly, though. And Lock did live that mid, so they might be able to get 5 right on the second here if they are so inclined. If they want to catch out and try and take a fight to these aggressive Swift players, Sol is going to be thinking about it through door 2, but I think this is just going to be a last hold here for KILLA BEEZ with Varner up on the sniper.
Yeah, so even though Swift had a terrific mid there, I really just want to point out Deft. His positioning in a lot of these fights has been questionable to say the least. He's just... I don't know if he's not getting the support from his team or he's just trying to do weird hero plays, but it feels like Swift could have capitalized a lot more on that aggressive mid win if the Def didn't go down so early on that fight. Paul's actually the first casualty here. Madness as well. Arnold surviving on 20 HP, so good on him for not popping, but this is more than enough to let Cookie come out. He gets taken out by TJ, but he has put so much damage in Varner. Just saying good night to Yul with a terrific shot, and Locke's actually going to pop the Uber here. It's a very questionable play. TJ's chasing onto Arnold and he can't hit any shots. Arnold's just standing there.
Yeah, Arnold doesn't need to pop for anyone here, but there are players on last, I think that was. But Riot's going to be able to defend it from TJ, I believe it was. Redcoat's been caught out here, unfortunately, on second, though. While Arnold hasn't popped his Uber, they're going to be recontesting now. Arnold is actually going to get dropped by Yul, though, excuse me, as Cookie's going to take him down finally. Locke is going to go down on second as well, and Def to the Riot Bomb. They have managed to cap up on the mini Spire, but that's both medics going down. Both of these medics are just having an absolutely nightmare game at the moment, getting caught out by the soldiers. That was just an insane play, honestly, by Yul, getting the sync rocket, I believe it was. That is Tempest Gamer stuff through and through. But KILLA BEEZ is going to be able to cap up on mid, even Ubers again, but wow, these medics need to wake up.
And it's weird because earlier on the map, I was sending my highest praise to Arnold for his plays. That was... And especially after he was able to avoid TJ so well, and in the repush, I don't know what he was thinking. He just left himself so vulnerable. Riot goes down, so does Cookie and Varner. They find Def, but a KILLA BEEZ S-key is going to be enough in this position. It doesn't look like Arnold's being caught out once again. Yul craters, but I mean, he gets the medic, so he will take that any day of the week.
Good push from nothing there from Swift. They sort of took the room that was being given to them. KILLA BEEZ a little bit slack setting up their mid-hold, and Swift are just able to use their superior positioning and recognize what's going on in that fight and get in there. Riot's having a peek through Sniper from door 1, going to see what he can have a look at, but Locke's actually walked all the way through the IT area, or PC as you called it, you silly Euro. So he's going to be safe from that. Riot's going to get taken down by one of the scouts, but Redcoat's trap's actually going to find Deft in the bats area, I think that was, or maybe in lobby. But that will definitely slow down the Uber push coming out of Swift here, as they do have full Uber advantage. 3 off classes on the side of KILLA BEEZ, Cookie on the heavy, Varner on the engineer, and Riot on the sniper is going to be Ubering through door 3 with no demo man in this push, which is interesting. Deft will be here post Uber, but Sol's taking a fight with Pause and is going to take him down behind. TJ's going to get mulched by the minigun of Cookie. Sol's going to get taken down after taking that fight with Pause in the door 2 area. Riot's going to find Yul, and that'll probably signal the get out from the players of Swift, who are in the lobby. Varner's going to win a very close 1v1 there with Madness in lobby, and Arnold is up on his Uber very, very shortly, and they're going to be pushing up onto mid now. The KILLA BEEZ. Varner's actually in behind. He's onto Locke. Maybe a bit of a premature play. He might actually be able to find the medic.
Oh, my dear lord. That was single figures of health there for Locke, but that... I mean... It still might be enough for a KILLA BEEZ to try to get some aggression for a joke, and it looks like it is. Def CT jumping back. TJ might get caught out here. Terrific play there from Riot, really locking him into that fight. So even though Varner wasn't able to get that frag, it was enough to sort of put Swift on the back foot and allow KILLA BEEZ a quite easy recaptured mid. It is worth noting only 5 minutes and 40 seconds are left on this clock, as a big bomb comes out here. One rocket onto Arnold, and the force comes out. So we're going to see what BEEZ can do with this Uber. Yul has actually dropped by Locke here. They do pick up Varner and Arnold in this Uber, so nice play by Def. Pause also trades with his Roma counterpart. So it looks like the Swift should be able to recapture mid and probably second.
Yeah, again, they're just getting the
really
better
good Uber exchange.
they're getting the better of these exchanges around that choke area at the moment of Swift, and they're just not able to hold their own mid, even in an Uber situation or an advantage situation at KILLA BEEZ. Sol and Cookie are going to be up spawning now. Varna's up on the sniper from the defender's perspective. He's taken a shot and he's going to get taken down by Madness. Actually, his shot did not ring true. Sticky's going to the bottom of IT, but Lock is up on a pretty hefty Uber advantage. They're going to be pushing it in through lobby here, and it looks like they want to go off this Varna frag, actually.
Oh my god.
Riot's going to be able to take down TJ, and Deft is going to have to get out as a result of that. They're going to be waiting on their Uber advantage, I think, as Sol's up on the Engineer, Cookie up on the Heavy. That has done so much work on the last holds. Varna on Sniper. This is a familiar sight, but Swift haven't been able to capitalize on many of these Uber advantage pushes as they're coming in through door 4.
Just builds in time. I mean, it does take it out by Def, but it did turn a few heads, enough for ozfortress on Heavy to start pumping out some damage. It does get taken out immediately. Oh my god, the focus fire here from Swift. Where has that been this entire map? That was basically a perfect last push, if we're being honest here.
Yeah, sort of caught on two different wavelengths there with the combo of KILLA BEEZ with Arnold and one of his scouts, I believe that was Cookie, who were rotating through the spawn to actually, I think it was Varna to rotate through the spawn to kite the Uber, but Redcoat was caught out there trying to defend the point, and so he got taken down relatively easily by the Uber. Riot's going to be jumping behind into Sewer. He's going to get said hello to by both scouts, I think that is. Sol's early bomb is coming in again. He's got so much damage off, and he's going to find Lock. Sol is just pencil jumping his way almost into the grand final here. They cannot find a way to get that the least Tempest Gamers bombs to stop working on these mids. Swift scouts just need to do a better job of dealing with him. As Lock is going to go down, they have managed to escort out Arnold of this mid, have Cookie and Redcoat, so the mid is going to go for Swift. Yule is going to try and see if they can catch him out, retaking mid here, but full Uber advantage for Arnold, and they'll be pushing back onto mid momentarily. 3 minutes left to go, Foz, and Swift are on a round deficit and an Uber deficit, so they really need to get something going in their favour if they want to bring it home.
Coming in through IT here. I'm going to give it the correct name. Paul's actually going down now. Yule, the kind of bait play, was that from Sol, who was just standing there on an equalizer on 1 HP while his team got the rest of the frag? Either way, he jumps in and instantly die. What is happening here? And as I say, this Madness is going to cover upon the entire combo here, and Redcoat, very crispy pipe there. But again, all this is doing, so neither team really gains anything, and just time is being ran off the clock. Here we go. Uber's coming out from the side of KILLA BEEZ. Cookie gets the demo. Scout instant arrow for his medic, so TJ being the bodyguard there. Sol putting in some nice damage, but will probably get taken out here from this counter bomb by Pause. No, it does look like he gets out here, but again, so much time has been run off the clock just from this kind of scrappy back and forth play. But Log now with a serious Uber advantage, about 70%, 2 minutes left on the clock. They really need to get this push happening, and now as Riot is in IT, unable to capitalize on the frag here, but he does get the force out.
Yeah, he does, and they're not going to be able to find much. They're maybe going to be able to find Varna, but Varna's put a meaty shot into TJ there. You're going to come and bail out his scout buddy in this lobby area. They're looking to roll this in. Well, the 2 picks that they have are Swift, and that is the correct decision, I think. They're flooding in through the far right door as well as in door 2. TJ's going to trade with Sol, but trades are going to be in favor, honestly, of Swift at the moment. So much time being put on the point, but that's going to be 3-all of the...
oh my god.
3-all with not long to go. Hello, Dreamboat. But yeah, KILLA BEEZ really threw away an advantage to close out this, an opportunity to close out this map here, excuse me. Just trading frags when they had that Uber advantage around mid and then thinking better of the mid push. And when they finally did opt to use their Uber advantage, it was just in a situation that did not favor them at all. Redcoat's going to get taken down early. Pause is sort of playing around the IT area. Sol's going to do his typical jump in. He's jumped behind this time, actually, as they're taking more aggressive positioning across point, but the soldiers are both behind for the side of KILLA BEEZ, and they're going to try and do the collapse thing now. Cookie's going to get taken down by Lock, but Cookie's going to find Yule. Riot's will retake the high ground and get pressured off by TJ, but TJ's taken a lot of damage, and Lock has actually gone down for Redcoat stickies. Deft is going to try and jump in and see if he can equalize this advantage, and he's not able to find the frag on the very, very low health Arnold. And with 40 seconds left to go, full Uber advantage for Arnold, and this is the Bees' chance to close it out.
I would just like to point out I did protect the 4-3. We'll ignore the whole golden cap thing, but yeah, I would like to point out how well Bees played as just a cluster on that mid. They really just sort of stuck as a unit. At the same time, Swift once again sort of split over a few areas, and it just was one of the things. While even so, some of their players were getting out good damage, they weren't able to do it as well. Yule and Riot on the back line.
That was so fucking cheeky,
Riot
dude.
gets Yule as well. This is massive. 12 seconds left on the clock. This is it. Uber comes out. They should get pause here. He's doing a lot of time. 8 seconds. 7, 6, 5. They get it. Yule. Oh,
Depth through.
three.
Def just threw that by walking out to try and pad his stats by spamming onto 2 with a full Uber disadvantage. He got bounced in the door and died, and that was the dumbest fucking throw I've ever seen in my life.
Hello,
I have to say.
I'm a psychic.
But yeah, that is 4-3 to the Bees. They come back after a massive loss in the first match, in the first map. Sorry, but wow. That was unbelievable. The Bees close it out, winning the second 2 maps. Unbelievable. They clutch it out with 5 seconds to go, and that. Congratulations to the Bees, who will be playing Yugi Boys next week.
Isn't TF2 a great game? Like, isn't just sixes so
It is
fucking fun when you see shit like that?
It is spectacular. I mean, that game was absolutely mental. It had everything you want, and I mean, I feel like we said it a lot for the series, but Riot, man, he's so good at this game. He's just absolutely mental, dude.
That was an absolutely huge play from both of the roamers. Both of the roamers were doing a lot of work there on process, but at the end they were able to sort of catch out Swift. Swift looked sluggish on that process map, more sluggish than they've looked on either Snakewater or Granary, lacking the polish that they had on Granary, and they were just able to capitalize off scrappy advantages and scrappy fights with the KILLA BEEZ in the end of it. That's absolutely unbelievable, as we are going to be getting some KILLA BEEZ players here for interviews.
Salutations.
Hello, Riot. Hi, Arnold. I'm going to come to you first, Riot. Was that the best match you've ever played on Snakewater? Because I think that's the best match I've ever seen you play, dude.
Second after the, third after the 2 grand finals in like the Summer Cup and the season 20, probably.
That's very fair. I'll be the first to congratulate both of you on that was an unbelievable match, honestly. That was so close on the second 2 maps. And that's, I suppose, what I'll touch on as we are joined by Redcoat as well. You guys had a really, really strong showing against KILLA BEEZ, against Yugi Boys 2 weeks in a row, I think it was, on Granary, taking it down to the last 10 seconds, and yet you got sort of spanked today. What happened there? What was the difference?
Our resident idiot Redcoat didn't book scrims, so we didn't practice since the official, actually. Unfortunately. That's all I can say.
That's very fair. Redcoat, you want to rebuke? You have anything to say to that?
You are muted, Redcoat.
Hello, Redcoat.
Hello. I've been unsuppressed. Yeah, we kind of just didn't scrim much. Hey, it was like that's like the first time we've played as a team since like last Tuesday, I think. So, I don't know. I'm pretty happy, like in general, with how we played. I think we could have played a lot better, but we won.
Yep, so well done, guys. Super duper close on those last 2 maps. But you guys sort of, there were a few situations where like it could have gone either way. Were you guys like feeling confident going into Snakewater that you could still close it out, being their map pick? Or?
We were pretty confident like the whole time. Like we were kind of just staying positive and not tilting or anything.
I felt like they only really picked Snakewater because of the score with Jasmine. But I think
we got pretty raped by Jasmine.
We didn't prepare for the game against Jasmine, but we prepared quite a bit for Snakewater because we figured they'd either pick Snakewater or Gully Wash because everybody knows I fucking hate Gully Wash.
Wait, did we prepare for today? I don't think we really did.
We did a little bit. More so than the Jasmine game.
Oh, excellent.
Yep.
Yeah, we did a really good job of like untilting after Gran because like it was pretty convincing defeat. So I'm proud of our team for being able to like pull it together. Like at the start of Snake, we were a little bit less confident, I feel, but like once we started gathering momentum, we carried that like all the way through the rest of Snake and process.
Yeah, very fair. As we do have Varna here as well. Hello, Varna.
Good afternoon.
All right. Well, sort of we'll come back to the last map now. Process, a bit of a weird server issue. Hopefully that won't be an ongoing thing. But Arnold, Pause was giving you a bit of a hard time there for a little bit. Were you sort of like, was that a bit on you, or were you saying to your scouts that you needed to kill Pause a little bit more? Because it was very, very close for a long time there.
Oh, I was saying that on Gran, but are you talking about when I dropped on second on Pro? I was like, I was suddenly on 40 HP. I'm like, how did this happen? And then I dropped. I'm like, I think I ate a pipe or something.
I think
I just
was
have no idea.
Dreamboat. You'll be able to say, was that the time that he got synced?
There was definitely one time where you came out bats, you got synced. Both rockets just hit you at the almost the exact same time. So there was really nothing you could have done about that. That was just an absolutely beautiful bomb. If that was the drop you were thinking of.
Yeah, I was definitely scared of the Swift soldiers most of the time.
That's very fair.
So credit to Pause and you.
Yeah. All right, well, I want to take you guys to next week. I saw, Redcoat, you actually had first probs for this season written on your profile at the moment. That's a big call. You're coming up against, you guys technically, speaking of the defending champions of ozfortress, but half your roster is on the other team from last season. So how are you guys feeling coming into the grand final? Because we've seen Zeno take maps off Yugi Boys so far. You guys have come close. Do you reckon you're going to be feeling confident coming into this? Have you got some strats that you're going to work on?
Well, we've taken like quite a few maps off them in scrims and like had very close games. Like the bad thing about the last 2 weeks is a lot of us have just had really bad schedules with like work and study and stuff, so we haven't had a lot of time to scrim and do map reviews and stuff. But this week should be a lot better, so hopefully we can prepare and at least put on a good show.
Very fair. All right, did you guys have any questions, Dreamboat or Foz? Do you have anything you wanted to ask?
I've got one from chat. Arnold, how do you feel about dying to the Ewell spy play?
Oh my god.
I mean, he's a better spy than Paulson. We've already established that.
Absolutely. I mean,
Arnold is the least aware medic in ozfortress, though.
yeah, TBH, I just come on all drugged up like Habib and just blindly shuffle my way through our prem matches. And we win, so...
It shows.
Arnold's swing cut
Whoa.
for Brownie next week.
Understandably, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah, dude.
Brownie is basically guaranteed grand final wins, so...
Yeah, dude, he can fly you out to land with his fat stacks as well. It'll be sick. Dreamboat, any questions? Any other questions?
I think you did a pretty good job covering anything I could really think of. Just, congrats to both obviously both teams on a great season, but specifically KILLA BEEZ for what was honestly an unbelievable comeback. I remember just sitting here after that Granary game thinking like, well, that was quick. This is not how I was expecting this to go. I was honestly like, well, this is just how this is gonna end. KILLA BEEZ just not able to bring it when playoff comes, and then you guys killed Locke I think 3 times in all of Granary.
I think I'd like to attribute much of that to the fact that they ninja'd our warm-up scrim against the only other active top team at the moment, because Xeno isn't scrimming and there was no Merc teams we could get, so they ninja'd the Jasmine scrim before they even confirmed the day, so we didn't have a warm-up.
I was still aiming as though I was trying to air pogo.
I did say, though, going into this, that you've been playing enough Bunnyco today, so your sniping's going to be on point, and I was proved right, so shout out to Bunnyco for that, I suppose.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
After Granary, I think me and Yauch were both convinced that, this is it for the Bees, but you guys did a fantastic job turning it on. You guys looked very good on Snakewater, and you rightfully won that process game. I mean, just, hats off to you guys for turning that around and making this a hell of a game and punching your ticket to the grand finals.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to shout-outs now, I think. We'll start at the top. Arnold, do you have any shout-outs that you want to give?
Shout-outs to Ivan and the laptop which he sent today. I've been asking for it for about 2 months now, and he finally got around to sending me my property. Shout-outs to Sam. And let's give a big fat shout-out to Abenda.
Very fair. Dreamboat, do you have any shout-outs?
Yeah, I've got a few. I mean, first and foremost, I need to shout out Grant Banny Vincent. He's the guy who gave us that fat raid right at the beginning of the stream. And I saw a lot of names in chat that actually hung around right from the raid all the way through this entire match. So hats off to him for supporting and kind of TF Live. Got to give a shout out to my boy Lightbringer, who was definitely out there in chat as his Syntax. And a huge shout out and thank you to Fargoth, because he got me back in that server for the third map within about 5 minutes of game time missed, after previously banning all Canadians from Quick's servers. So I'm glad that got fixed, and that shouldn't be an issue from now on. So, yeah.
Varna shout outs, Elspag.
Shout out to
Spaghetti.
literally everybody. That is all.
Very, very quick and very generalized. I like it. Redcoat shout outs. Actually, Foz. Sorry, I missed Foz.
Thanks. Shout out to both the teams. Enjoyable cast. Thanks. A shout out to all my guys over at TF Live and ozfortress. It's been a fun season working with you guys. Hopefully it continues through to the grand final. And shout out finally to Sigafu for not bringing his 7v7 league to Australia. Please never do it. Please.
Oh, I do also want to add a shout out. I do also want to add a shout out to fozzlm, because thank you for coming in and saving this cast when I couldn't connect to the server.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Puta's Fazbear fan for revealing the true nature of 7v7. All right, Redcoat, your turn. Shout outs.
Shout out to the casters and the admins. Shout out to Sam. Shout out to Elmo.
Prisco.
I don't know. That's probably about it. It was a good game. Shout out to the other team as well. They were very sportsmanlike about everything.
All right, Riot, down to you.
All right, shout out to CKM, Dreams, and Talk. Shout out to CKM Fan Club. Get in that group on Facebook. That's it.
Yeah, that's a pretty sick Facebook group. All right, I've got a few shout-outs and plugs to give. First and foremost, I'd like to have some hearts in chat for Thermite, our producer tonight. Thank you to Dreamboat for casting with me. Thank you for Foz for jumping in when Dreamboat was having some issues. If you guys haven't already, hit the follow button for TF Live. We will have the grand final of ozfortress Season 21 right here next week, which will be an absolutely awesome game between Yugi Boys and these guys here in the KILLA BEEZ. I want to shout out Lizlam. I want to shout out Zeno Discord. I want to shout out Xander in particular. I want to shout out Plan Z, my boys in Open. I want to shout out Dork Squad, shout out to Warrnambool, and shout out to everyone who came along and watched this tonight, guys. It was one hell of a match, and I'm really glad we were able to catch it. So be sure to get back next week. The grand final will be fantastic. That's going to be a best of 5 with an all-star casting lineup and an all-star match. So on behalf of everyone here at TF Live, thanks for coming out, everyone, and we'll see you soon.
Drive safe.